Welcome back to Out of the Abyss. We continue in the midst of combat. As we left off, not Larkoon, I'm sorry. Tycho, it is your turn.
Start it over.
Tycho,
Take two.
you are first.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you do?
Frequency is 45. So it's there, right? This is it? Yes.
That's in there.
Alright. So we're going to... How close do I need to be for the...
Adjacent to me.
Adjacent. So, is that adjacent? Okay. So, 1, 2.
I don't know what that means.
So you should be healing me.
You were holding the healing spell?
Yeah, he's got the healing spell up and ready.
So I'm casting Life Transference.
Life transference.
Yep. And I'm casting it as this is a 3rd level, as a 4th level spell. I think regularly it is 48. No, 3rd level, I guess. Okay, because it is 48. So I take 5 plus 1.
And you're not blind anymore, right?
Correct.
You removed the curse last time, yep.
9 and
12.
3 is 12. So I take 12 necrotic damage, you gain 24 life.
Man. That's cool.
Seems good.
Ah!
Okay. And then you're going to continue to go in.
Yep. So we're going to 5 move 3, so 1,
Hey,
2.
am I still following the
3.
note you gave me last week?
Yes.
I know what it said,
You are.
but I don't have it anymore.
That's fine. You are still following that until I give you something else.
You know what it said.
Yes.
Okay.
Nope. I'm refreshing my memory on what it does.
Stand by as Tycho remembers how to play his character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why we have a break here, guys?
Red Fox standing by.
Alright, so I'm attacking the, what is it? What are we calling it? The monster.
It's a very
frog
evil-looking
monster.
frog person.
Frog
It's
monster.
like a
Demon frog.
sorcerer.
Alright, I'm going to attack the demon frog with Fangs of the Fire Snake.
Certainly that'll work.
Oh yeah, yep, I remember that.
Attacking expenditure and spend 1 key point to cause...
And he needs to make some sort of save or something? Or do you have to hit first?
This is like... When I use the attack action on my turn, I can spend a key point to cause Tendrils of Flame. So it looks like it is my attack action.
Okay.
I think.
Does it say anything about when it takes extra damage? Or does it have to make a save or anything?
A hit with such attack deals fire damage instead of bludgeoning damage, and spend 1 key point. It also deals when the attack hits, it also deals an extra 1d10.
Okay, so you have to, so it's not a save or anything. It's just you have to hit with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you spend a key point to add the fire damage to it, and then you just have to roll.
Well, I spend a key point to do it.
Yeah.
And it changes my damage type to fire, basically.
Okay.
And it also increases my unarmed reach by 10 feet. And then I can spend an extra key point for 1d10 fire damage. There was something about max key points I can spend for spells. Is this a spell or is this?
Unless it says casts the spell or adds the spell. So I think this one just changes the damage type.
It's more of an ability, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we're going to be going for that. This will be. Well, I gotta roll my.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't like fire. He got pissed when I hit him with fire last time.
Yeah. There it is. $14.
I will miss.
Okay. Well, I made an unarmed strike, so I get a bonus action, right?
Yes.
Did I use a spell
So
slot
you
or
can
key
move
points?
your thing, so you can make a second one. I think you can make a second one without it, or you can use the key point to make 2 extra attacks.
Correct. I can use a key point for flurry of blows, or just get 1 bonus.
Yep.
So the Fangs of the Fire Snake is basically until end of turn.
Yeah.
Thing. So I don't have to spend another key point
Yep.
for this. I will go ahead and do the key point for flurry of blows, just in case, because apparently I don't have. 12 plus 8, 20.
20 will hit.
Okay. So
And
that's.
your second attack.
Do I roll for damage now, or
Just go ahead and roll both the attacks and then just roll the damage separately.
Nat 20.
God. All right, go for it.
And
This
then
thing needs to
spend
die,
that-
dude. It's been
Spend
alive for a
that
minute.
key point to do that.
I'm spending 2 extra key points because 2 attack hit. So I do an extra D10 for each one.
Wait, why are you spending 2 key
Fangs in the
points?
fire spell. When the attack hits, he can spend an extra key point
Yeah.
to deal an extra 1d10 damage.
A
Okay.
hit with such an attack deals fire damage instead of bludgeoning damage. And if you spend 1 key point when the attack hits, it also deals an extra 1d10 of fire.
Okay, so you can spend an additional 2 key points
Yes.
I
You
guess
have
per
them?
hit.
Yes, per
Yeah.
hit.
to
1 per hit.
do even more extra damage.
Well, can I see the result of the first one and then decide to spend the key point on the second one? Or do I have to do it all now?
It happens.
You resolve
simultaneously,
hits.
doesn't it?
yeah, resolve whether or not it would hit, and then you can choose when it hits to resolve.
Yeah, I think
whether
you
spend
do
points.
hit, resolve
Okay.
damage.
Just
move
save
on,
one.
hit, resolve damage,
I think he's
move
taken a
on.
lot of damage so far.
So you
Maybe
should
just
do
hit him
one
with
at a time.
one. If you want.
Why?
If you want. I'm just saying. I think he's been hit a lot.
Who wants roasted frog? Who wants frog
I
legs?
mean,
Dude,
if you want to
you ever had
barbecue,
frog
if you
legs?
want to seriously
I know.
barbecue this
They're
thing,
not
please
bad.
feel free
Precisely.
to seriously
It's
barbecue.
been a real pain in
Um,
the ass. It destroyed our
so
pig,
it's
too.
It is
D8
really
for
being a
damage.
pain.
We've
And
been
it will
this
continue to
game
be a pain.
like,
So the first attack is going to do D8 plus
You're in the
your
Underdark.
in the same
So
fabric.
D8 plus Dex modifier, right?
yes.
Which is 4, so it's 12 plus the 1 for fire makes I'm dumb. 13.
13, and this is all fire damage.
This is all fire damage. And then the second attack, which was the crit.
That's mana scare.
This is.
How do I do crit? Do I just roll the damage twice?
Roll the damage dice twice.
Okay.
So
First one is 1. Second one is 4, so that's 5. I still only add the modifier once, correct?
mhm.
So 9 plus the D10.
D10, the dice is doubled, so you will roll the D10 twice.
Okay. And is that 0? That's 10, right?
0 is 10, yes.
Okay.
No, you do 0 damage on it. Awkward.
So
You can't do 10
16
damage.
extra fire damage
Good
plus
God.
the 9 regular makes 25
25 total.
total.
Yeah,
Yes.
crit.
And that is all fire
crit.
I
damage.
don't like it.
But
Yeah.
it is vulnerable to fire, so it will take double your fire damage, which is already double, so it will have 50 fire damage.
Mhm.
Oh, every time.
He is thoroughly barbecued.
Yes!
Can you describe how each character dies? Give us a
Right.
playthrough. How do they
So-
die?
It,
A
wait,
flurry of
Just like
fists.
he roasts him and burns
As
all the
this
skin off
very
his body.
creepy-looking frog humanoid thing dodges and ducks under your first swing, a flurry of secondary blows bursts him into flames. You can just feel the rubbery skin just boiling underneath of your fists as it just slowly screeches in pain and crumbles to the ground, dead. Very thoroughly.
Got it.
That fight lasted a lot shorter than I hoped.
How many hit
that I
points
thought.
did he have?
You don't know. All right,
Can I study him?
I'm gonna do this
I'm a
one.
tracker.
you have thoroughly barbecued it. You notice though that as it falls to the ground, its body slowly deteriorates into mist and wisps away,
And no frog legs?
no frog legs!
leaves nothing behind.
No loot.
I
Turn
barbecued
into
those
dust.
frog legs.
You did,
Gordon Ramsay.
and they disappeared.
So much for
We
that.
do
Unacceptable. I wanna speak to your
arcana
manager.
check. Was that magic that took him away, or was he summoned?
Sure, make me a religion check.
Religion.
A religion.
I'd rather not.
I've never heard you say the word religion. I think the
Make me a religion
Well,
check.
you
you got?
I
Can
got
I
one.
make a nature
It's
check
better than mine.
to
Just
see if
take
that
it,
counts
take
as
a
the type
roll.
of creature it was?
Don't you have religion?
It was not a natural creature, you know that.
Aren't you? You have high religion.
Just
Do
high
you have high
I do
religion?
have high religion.
Roll to see what happened to that thing
I
to
have
see why
history
he
and
faded
athletics.
away.
I'm proficient in religion, but I have -1 to intelligence, so
So you have +4 to it. because of your-
I have +3.
Oh, so yeah,
That's still
it's better than nothing.
That's true. It's
yeah.
better than just a flat -1.
Okay.
I got a 17 to religion to see what I know about this thing. About its deities and its.
Certainly. You
My
know that
gods.
it is, in fact, a fiend of some sort. You're not quite entirely sure what kind.
What's that mean exactly?
But it is
devil-ish.
No go.
it is closer in relation to a demon.
Great
Okay.
himself.
But it is not
Right.
a demon
Feelings
per
game.
se. It is another extraplanar being, and that you know that when beings of that nature die, they deteriorate and return to their home plane. And it does. And the only way to fully kill it is to go to its home plane and kill it there. So it is for essentially banished there and without a corporal form.
Gotcha.
Does that mean that it was summoned by something?
So, we beat this thing. Does that water hole go away? How did that get there?
It does. The hole fills as water. Those of you that are proficient in Arcana, some sort of check will be able to identify what it was.
I'm not. That's a fat
It's a fatty natty too.
Alright, so you have no idea. You know that it was some sort of spell that it cast, but you don't know what kind.
Well, that's helpful.
Two
Well, I
numbers
know
was
it's a
worse
spell.
than one.
But you know that whatever it was also made a hand out of the water and grabbed you into it. Speaking of which, you are still 30 feet underneath the water. So I need you to roll me a athletics check to swim to the surface.
So that is not going to be good.
Can he just like do that over the course of a turn or two?
We're going in. Well, I'm still going in order because technically we're not done with combat.
Can I use Mage Hand to like make me swim faster?
So-
Stick a hand out.
What is your athletics check?
Pull you off.
Yeah. This is gonna be a long night. That one.
That one?
It was nat 20.
All right, killing it so far.
You've stuck in some sort of current that's just dragging you down further. You're not going further in the water. You're just sort of stuck.
Yep.
It's supposed to be worse.
Larkoon did a religion check to understand things. Viraga, is there anything you would like to do currently? You just saw this thing get barbecued, and then it disappeared.
I'll pick my trap up for one.
Certainly.
He's pretty far. I can't. What?
I can blink out, but I don't want to waste this spell.
That won't help you
15,
much.
20, 25, 30. I can't really do anything. I'll just forage.
Okay. You're just gonna go back to whatever you were doing before.
Exploring the island.
Attack.
Yeah.
Explore the island
Actually,
a little bit.
you know what? Yeah, I'll go back. Where were we working on the boat?
That was the other island.
You were a good ways away.
You were
Kevin.
far away. You were all the way over here.
You walked on water to get over
Yeah,
here,
you are
but fair
currently
warning, I was on water,
Over at
and
this
this is
other
how that
island.
started.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're
You were right here, and then
we're over here.
No, we're up at the one above,
This
right
one?
there.
explore that shipwreck then.
Yeah. There's a wrecked ship here. I'd like to make my way towards and explore.
Yeah,
This one here?
I would maybe stay away from looking at it from a
Yeah,
distance.
You
where we
were
are.
no, you were. That's right. You
No,
are over
we
here.
are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
And there are some. Okay, I did not draw that. Okay, so currently where you guys are standing, there's some stuff that I will show in a moment here. All right,
Okay,
so
trouble.
you're gonna start heading over there, up to the other side of the island.
Yeah, we're not at the Hag's Hut though.
No, you are not at the
What
Hag's
is that
Hut.
over
There is
here?
an incorrect.
How's that?
Yes, I will fix it.
Ben, is it that side or is it this side?
It'll be more over there.
Here?
Yeah.
We're
It'll be-
still in combat, so I can only move 30 feet.
Yeah, move it like over here, so.
That's really far. I was over on the other corner.
Yeah, it was there.
Yes.
What's your move speed?
30.
Yeah, so we only have
The
6
six
squares.
is like there.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to move diagonally.
Crunch.
It's going to take another.
I would like you to carry out
It's going to cut my movement.
any actions you deem necessary based on the message you received.
Awesome.
Move.
5, 10, 15. Now we will move to attacks.
Okay.
We will attack recklessly.
Tycho. Crunch suddenly flies into a rage and charges at you. Weapons ready.
Why is this happening again?
It's the spiders like past the doors.
No, that's all my turn. Never mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Pause.
Are you raging?
Oh yeah.
So I have.
Can't just yell pause.
Yes. We have raised
He's the blue player.
and we are
That's all he
attacking
does.
recklessly.
Attacking recklessly?
Yes.
Okay.
So how many attacks are coming at me? And how
Not coming at you.
Nothing's attacking
You're coming at Tycho.
injured do you look right now? Don't not number, but how injured are you?
I'm not. I'm able to hold myself up.
On a scale of slightly to majorly.
I'm pretty beaten,
That
but not
would be majorly.
not so bad that I can't fight.
On a scale of laughing in the face of danger to please help me off the floor.
Basically, I was like almost limping before you healed me, and you healed me, and I'm still definitely bruised, got some scrapes and such, but able to move around normally again.
Okay. And how many attacks you got, Kevin?
I have 2.
Alright.
It works fine for the bullet.
I'm gonna. I guess. Let me know when your first attack hits.
Alright, well, first one's 21. 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright, here comes the
Might have
damage.
to be a,
That's not good.
Yeah, fine.
might not be a
4
player's
plus
handbook
6,
rule.
it's
What's up?
2.
Wand of Globulation, is that from Xanathar or is that from Player's Handguide?
It's from this book here.
I would think it is.
Plus 2.
Why?
6,
Well, I'm
10,
trying to look it up.
14.
Oh, I think I put the picture of the
The
stats
attack
in
is
the,
14 damage.
chat.
14,
That's
oh,
what.
jeez.
That's what. No, it's in the recap. I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm looking almost back to where I was. Not quite
I don't
limping,
remember.
but definitely beaten.
I can tell you what it does though, if you want.
What else? Have a second attack.
How long does
Alright.
it hold someone for?
Hold
An
on,
hour.
I'm trying to do
I'm
math.
going to use one of my uses of Warding Flare as a reaction. You get disadvantage on your next attack roll.
Alright, well, I have advantage. I'm just gonna
So
do a normal
one
attack.
roll, one regular attack.
Alright, that messes. That's a 10.
Yeah, that misses. Jeez, you got plus 7. Oh, God.
Okay.
I have plus 8, so I guess that's not bad.
Yeah, plus 9, so it's all,
Yeah.
all balances out.
As Crunch is savagely beating you with his flail, you notice that his eyes have glossed over and have turned white. Completely ghostly, foggy white.
Oh boy.
Okay. You have completed your attacks?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything else.
Top of the round. Tycho, that is back to you.
Yep. Where'd it go?
I'm gonna drink my very melted slurpee.
You do that.
You gotta put it in front of the camera and give a shout out to the buyers.
Thanks,
Don't you know
7-Eleven.
anything about branding?
That,
Branding and marketing?
either that or I'll get, flagged for copyright.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hold on.
and what are the NPCs? That's a good question. Move.
What is the dodge action?
You can just
give them disadvantage.
give them
Oh, give me disadvantage. Okay.
But he's attacking recklessly, so it will do him.
Like, I
you
have
know,
one
It'll
plus
just
six.
cancel
the-
out and just
cancel out and be a
my
regular
strength
attack.
plus
Yeah.
my
At this
something
point, I
else.
would like you to move
Plus
Darendil,
four.
Shucky,
Where's
and
the other two coming from?
Chandar. Just move them
What is
there.
That's a good
I
word.
do have proficiency.
clump together.
Yeah, just move them all
So
there.
do I have
Shoot.
my
The
proficiency?
bear guy.
Plus
You thought it was right before
no,
you
you don't have
They all
proficiency.
just sort
Okay.
of.
But you were
that's
barbarian attack and reckless
Yeah.
attack, so they do extra
This
damage to
kid-
your attack rolls.
Reckless attack is disadvantage.
And none will give you that plus additional plus 2.
The only thing is the fighter plus 2.
And that's 2 hit or 2 damage.
That's damage.
I do actually have
That's
extra
where the plus
attack.
2 comes from.
Yep.
It's
So
just
it's
this tiny
strength
little like
plus
2
plus
lines
two.
Okay,
that
so
I
you,
overlooked.
so
I
you
assume-
get the basic without spending.
Basic is actually 3.
Yeah,
Flurry of blows
basically-
makes 4.
Flurry of blows is
Line,
good.
you should have 2 more health than you do.
Oh, we
no,
do?
no, because it's
No, yeah.
it's plus your strength and then plus that plus 2 for the fighter damage.
Well, I've added my strength,
Plus
and the
4.
fighter is 6.
Yeah.
I gave it plus 10, which is wrong. It should have been plus 8.
Cole when he got in an accident.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
His face hit the airbag.
Still looking pretty bad.
So you take, yeah, you
But-
just have 2 more health than you do.
So what are you doing currently?
I'm not limping.
That's when I got I hit so hard. My car went forward, but my phone stayed where my car was.
Is
It's on
that
the
a
tablecloth
spend a
in
key
front
point
of
on
me, you know
hit?
what I mean? I'm looking around my phone to call my dad, and I go back up to where I got hit, and the guy standing there, is this your phone? I'm like, that's my
Yeah.
fucking phone.
Okay.
You just find a phone on the road and think it's not.
I guess I'm gonna go in and try and smack Crunch around a bit.
Ooh.
Okay.
Bad move,
Certainly.
bad move,
cannot-
cowboy.
I can
Go for
sweep him if you rather.
Well, he's
try
attacking
to
recklessly,
escape.
so I have advantage, right?
I was
Oh
like,
yes,
okay.
you do. And you have
I was gonna say we can hold
two
him.
attacks for your
please.
first action.
Yeah.
So.
Don't worry.
Go for it.
2 attacks on my first action plus the bonus action attack.
If all else fails, I have rope trick, guys. Don't worry.
Let him
We
steal
really
the
got
island.
it.
Yeah, you can.
Where's that
16
max?
plus 8 is what,
We
24?
buried it, didn't we?
Yeah, it'll hit.
It's in a rock.
So it's a D8.
I molded the rock around it.
Ball in it. Mold it.
8 plus 4, 12 damage.
Okay.
And I'm also going to spend a key point for Stunning Strike. So you got to make a Constitution save.
Yeah.
The box.
It must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the next.
What
that
is
has
it?
to.
A DC what?
DC.
8 plus something probably.
8 plus 4
Yeah, it's-
plus fear or something on fire.
8 plus proficiency plus wisdom. So proficiency is 4, wisdom is 3, so 15.
Yeah, it's a 19.
Alright. So it's a key point used.
Let's try.
You did take damage.
Yes.
As you do, you get that message. And the connection breaks.
Aw.
Am I aware of this?
No!
Okay. Just making sure. So going for second attack.
Continue. That was a
But
one
I
and a
have
solid.
advantage.
Oh, yes, you
still
do.
Advantage.
Another one.
No.
Was
Not
it
quite.
2?
18.
Oh, it looked like a 2 from here.
You have plus
Yeah.
8? Does it hit if I have 18? 18 and 18?
Yes.
Yeah, tie
Okay.
goes to the attacker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you hit.
Alright.
You just have to hit or break, not break.
2 plus 4 is 6.
Right.
Attempt a stunning strike again.
Okay.
Best part of this is that even though he's not under control
Yeah, it's
anymore,
done.
he's just
Yeah.
gonna be like, hey, why are you hitting me?
And then go into
Start
another
attack.
attack.
Okay, so he's
this is
stunned. I think you're prone?
Oh.
We don't know that the spell is broken, Ben.
You do not.
Breaking the immersion.
Sorry.
Took me right out of it.
I was right there the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's
Here.
so
Literally
does
on
stun
the-
make them prone or
No.
Stunned, stunned.
I've been stunned
They're
before.
incapacitated, he just stands there all
he's just kind of like
Yeah.
almost like dazed?
You can't, your speed is reduced to 0, something else, and something else.
Yeah, well, that's
But they're
probably
not
mid.
prone. Isn't there like a advantage on attacks or something?
Yes,
If
you
they're
have
prone.
advantage on attacks.
So does that
can't
mean you
make
get double
actions.
advantage?
No, it doesn't stack.
Okay.
Stunned.
Dude.
Incapacitated, can't move, can speak only falteringly, automatically
damage
fails
did you do?
strength and dex saving
That
throws,
one was
and
6.
attacks against it have advantage.
So
He's
12 and 6 until
stunned.
18.
Alright.
Stunned creature is incapacitated. Creature automatically fails strength, dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
I just read
Okay.
that.
Now that he is stunned, I'm going to tackle him to the ground and tell everybody else to, help me because, he's a giant orc.
Roll me an athletics check.
That's another action,
At
though.
advantage.
You don't have another action,
Well,
do
it's
you?
your That's
Oh
true.
no, that's not.
That's true.
Well, can I-
Another action.
No. You already used both actions.
Because it would be.
technically.
True.
It would
I
be
probably
gra-
would have to declare it
basically be
as
a
my
grapple.
bonus action first.
It would be a grapple action, and there would be another action to force him to the ground.
Can I yell to someone to grab him then?
Certainly.
Okay.
I see the nose.
Well, Raccoon's right next to me. I'll tell him to grab him.
Okay.
And oh no, it's not. They automatically fail strength
And
saving
dex
throws,
saving.
but not
Yes.
necessarily like athletics.
So, well, a strength.
Strength and dex saving throws.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not a saving
Okay.
throw, it's an ability check. So yeah.
Okay.
But he would have disadvantage basically because he can't move and he's
Yeah.
basically stunned.
I have
Or-
advantage because I'm raging too.
Well,
Okay. So it'll cancel that out. Okay.
Advantage
He's
on
still
strength
raging while
checks
he's
and
stunned?
saving throws.
that's not like pause.
Yeah. Technically,
Okay.
it goes until he doesn't deal damage on his turn.
Oh.
So on his turn it'll end, but yeah, at the end of his turn. Okay.
Okay.
So you have successfully stunned him. Larcoon, you would be the next one.
Have I noticed his eyes going white, and are they still white, and is he
Only
seem
a
to be possessed?
perception check. So look into his eyes.
Is he just angry crunch, or is he like
Well, hey-
possessed crunch?
Okay. So I did after I stunned him. I did actually
Perception.
tell you like grab him.
22 to perception.
But yeah, whatever.
Well, he's as he is. He looks different than when he was attacking. His eyes are definitely different. They're not that glassy white anymore. They appear to be normal.
Probably a little focused though.
I mean, a little unfocused because he's stunned and he just got hit by a bunch. So, but not
1, 2,
controlled.
3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna hold person on crunch.
Works too.
Because I don't know what's going on.
okay.
Wisdom saving throw.
Little person is wisdom save.
Huh? That's
So you still have to make those.
What's that?
It's a 2.
a 2. Oh yeah, that's a 2. You can't see
Oh, it's a 2?
Yeah.
I can't read that.
Oh.
There's a little bit of
It's
delay.
not all the way over there. Well, yeah, that's
So
a,
the lighting here is
that would be a
problem.
1.
Alright.
I've seen one where it's a
Okay.
point and then you pull
You
out
can't
the
We're
read.
held. Viraga, it is your turn.
How close am I to this? Can I see like anything of worth like looking at, like this shipwreck? Is there any debris, boxes, crates, treasure chests, anything like that I can see sitting around, maybe sticking out of the sand, or
It appears to be a
I mean fishing gear?
pile of boats similar to the ones you came on, although nicer quality, and they're all smashed to pieces. You do see a number of like wooden planks and stuff that could be salvaged to make a new ship. You look at it over the course of your turn. You think there should be enough wood to salvage for one vessel that may hold all of you.
Find the one in best shape and I'll help fix it
Yeah,
up.
I'll start rummaging through the pile and picking out the best pieces.
Oh, that's not smelling. I just
yeah.
all of a sudden smelled food. I'm
Roll
like,
me
where is
a
that?
perception check, I guess.
Your nose doesn't betray you, Linus.
Perception or survival?
Perception.
I'm like, that is either food or someone farted.
Okay.
and
Because you're
smells-
picking
delicious.
Almost
pieces
like
out
it
instead
smells
of
delicious.
naturally
Right.
finding your way.
Sometimes meat has that effect.
20.
20. Okay.
It's
So you
usually
find
beef.
you locate some good pieces and you start dragging them out.
Certain,
Okay.
when you cook beef a
Alright.
certain way, it sometimes has that smell to it. It's not bad, it's just,
Zavros, you are still underwater.
Okay. I'm going to swim out.
it's just
Okay.
slightly
Roll me an athletics
not
check to
quite
get out of the current.
So, I guess.
Yep.
Usually when it's cooked in season,
On the
it's just
athletics
awesome.
check to 14 plus athletics, 13.
13. Alright,
Hey,
you
Crunch,
managed
if
to
you're not too
get out of
angry
the
with me,
current.
give me a Pepsi.
You managed to get out of the current and you're trying to swim to the surface now. You are about 15 feet from the surface.
Want to take it out first?
There
Okay.
you go.
So you
Oh,
should
thank
have
you, thank you.
Did anybody talk to Kevin to see what his,
Crunch. You
see what his
are
feelings about this are?
stunned
Stunned
and
and
held. But you know that you are in control of your mind again.
Oh yeah, can I speak?
Only
You can
falteringly.
speak falteringly.
Only what?
Is it because he's stunned or because he's held?
Even more
Yes.
falteringly than what Crunch
Yes.
usually
Both of
does.
those things do that.
that.
So I'm gonna say no, you cannot speak
Yeah,
actually.
my dumbass. Yeah.
You do get a low grunt actually. It's about as much as you can muster.
You can make it sound like sad.
Tim the Toolman Taylor earlier.
Sad grunt.
And
Well,
that-
that'll be the end of my turn.
More like a confused, more like a confused grunt.
with that, it is back to Tycho.
But you're no longer stunned.
What are you
Now you're
guys
just
fighting
um,
at this point?
What?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Crunch.
Kevin started attacking me, so I had to hit him a few times, use a stunning strike, and then Jeremy used a hold person.
This is how the battles usually go.
Am I still stunned?
Yes, you are both stunned and held.
I thought the stun was only until.
Yeah, stun is
Oh,
only
stunned
until,
the turn. So you're
or
held,
it's until my next turn.
but held also restricts your voice, I think also.
Probably falteringly as
Yeah,
well.
faltering as well. So
Well, he might be able to get a few words instead
Yeah.
of just a
But
grunt.
it's
Yeah,
more
you'll get-
falteringly than what Crunch already is.
so I will say
Even
you
less
can
words.
get.
More basic.
His voice shouldn't even say orcish, or what is he? You're
You may
Or-
say.
Or-
I
then
will say you
kind
can
of
speak
comment on it.
2 words a turn, and there will be needed a roll to decipher them by
Max
whoever's
of 2
listening.
syllables.
Max
per
is 2
word.
syllables.
So,
6 letters.
So you may speak 2 words a turn, and I'm going to have somebody have to roll to decipher whether they understood you or not.
do you want me to write it down?
No,
Why don't you just have
Just
him roll first?
say whatever I say. I'm going to try to say that, and then they will roll to see if they understand you.
But then
All
we'll
right.
actually be
I'm
able
gonna
to
try
Anyway,
to say what happened.
Well, first of all, it's your turn.
That's true.
because
Oh,
it
second
ends
person
at the end of
rolled
his
first.
turn. So,
Okay.
And
so
then
he's
we'll see if we
good and
understand
stuck.
it.
You are quite sure of. You also notice his eyes are different. They're back to normal and not white and glassy, creepy
Okay.
looking. What do you do?
I'm probably just gonna kind of stand in front of him, prepare an attack in case he,
Okay.
breaks free and.
You want to back up? Just
No, I'll stay right there.
Okay.
You do remember the last time we held person we chose you.
Turn into a disaster.
Okay. So you're just gonna hold an attack?
Yeah.
Okay. Varric, welcome to the scene.
Alright, let's see if this is gonna explode.
Viraga, as you
Crutch was
are
unhappy with me. Check this.
Collecting pieces.
collecting pieces, you hear a loud splash in the water
Good.
off to your
You didn't
left.
really shake it that much, so.
over this way,
No.
and you see another familiar party member of yours floating on a piece of debris
Okay.
over there.
It's not my turn.
No, I'm just making sure that you see that.
I see.
As for Varric, it is your turn. You awake, floating on a piece of debris near an island. Your small rocky island, and through your very blurry, hazy eyes, you can see that a number of humanoid shapes standing on that island, and some familiar voices start to reach your ears. What do you do?
Well, first things first, I gotta remember how I got here. How did I get separated from the group again?
That's a good question. You don't remember.
Okay.
More probably because, Ben hasn't decided yet.
Okay. Well,
The last thing you remember, you were escaping the Demogorgon,
yeah, and I was on the boat.
and you were on the boat.
Animaguga.
No, we went down the path.
Yes, and you went down the path, and you vaguely remember a sharp pain in your head, and you blacked out.
Okay.
Was it on the rapids or before the rapids?
On the rapids.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna. Well, I can see the people, but
Yes, your vision starts to come back into focus, and you recognize them as your party members
okay.
that you were separated from.
Well, I'm going to approach this way.
Okay. I will note that you do still have quite a headache.
Yes.
Located mostly on the back
Oh god.
of your head and the base of your skull,
Sorry, Caleb. We're gonna
right at the
do
top of your neck,
lobotomy.
top of the back of your neck.
Something's wrong with
Sharp
you.
pain.
We're gonna have to cut it out.
Does that give me decreased movement while trying to get over to these guys?
No,
Am I
it's
stumbling?
it just hurts.
Still in
No,
the
yeah,
water, though.
you get it together
Okay.
by the time you get to the shore.
Okay.
So I would say you can move. Starting from there, you have about half of your movement you can use.
Yeah, difficult terrain doesn't slow it for travel.
Travel is
Okay.
different from
Combat movement.
We are out of combat now, I believe. So
All right.
continue with anything else you would like to do, say, etc.
All right. I'm just gonna shout out to you guys that are like, what is that, 30 feet away or so? I'll be like, hey guys, what happened?
You tell us. I'm
I don't know.
I'm underwater.
You're underwater. Speaking of which, some time passes. You reach the surface. The spell wears off. Crunch tells you that he is not a psycho anymore. However, you would like
We are
to.
very skeptical
However,
about
you would
that.
like
I
to
never
explain
remember
that.
anything.
However, you would like to
Is he
explain
still left to 2 words?
that. No, you're back to normal now.
So what happened?
which is 4.
Where'd you go? Why did you attack us?
I don't know.
You don't remember any of that?
Crunch don't know.
You don't remember anything?
Crunch remembers nothing.
What's the last thing you remember?
You do remember something, actually.
You?
You remember looking into Raven's eyes, seeing a strange light, and suddenly you are it was as if you are trapped in your own mind, and your body was moving, but you were not in control of it.
What he said.
And you heard a voice
Like puppet.
telling, like,
Crunch.
as if it was telling you what to do, and your body was doing that.
Yep. What he said. Like doing that.
Okay. It looks like somebody took him over, guys. Someone's playing Puppet Master.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even in the conversation. I'm across the island gathering wood.
Can anybody do, like, detect magic, or, like, can we use Arcana to see if, or history or something to see if we've heard of this or know what could be causing it?
You could think about that, possibly. Anybody could roll me an Arcana.
Arcana's high. 17.
It sounds like some sort of spell that would have controlled his mind from distance.
I know that. Do I know what kind of creature could have
Would you
caused it, or
call
what,
that
like, knowing that, you know, what type of
mind
creatures
control?
have stuff like that? Mind control?
Not really.
Okay.
It's, you know, it's a spell any powerful wizard could manage.
How powerful of a wizard are we talking? Like,
Probably
Type of tier
above your pay grade.
okay.
Above any of your capabilities,
Okay.
certainly. Other than that, who knows? You know that you've heard creatures that are capable of such things, but what they are and how specifically they're able to do those things, you're not entirely sure.
Okay.
Anyway, what are the rest of you doing?
I'd like to meet up with the group.
Okay.
Where have you been?
Well, I just woke up on a floating piece of wood, and the last thing I remember is we were escaping the Demigorgons. What have I missed? I think I might have hit my head on like a low-hanging stalagmite or something.
Something's going on, because everybody's forgetting shit, remembering shit again. There's something weird about this cavern we're in, I think.
Okay.
Or this world we're in. We basically got here, and our boats got destroyed, and that's about it. That's really what you miss. Really nothing.
As you say, there's something
And
weird
Crouch
about
becoming
this
a dragon.
cavern.
Yeah.
As you say, there's something weird about this cavern. In unison, Chucky, Darendil, and Jimjar all three say, "Yeah, you're right. We should leave." All at the same time, and then they all just sort of look at each other like,
Do you guys have any of these? Are you guys being controlled? Are you feeling normal?
Chucky sort of looks at you and goes, "My divinity protects me from such mind-controlling powers. I certainly am no one's puppet. I am the puppet master. But I still think we should get out of here as quickly as possible."
We don't have a boat.
I want to have
we
a
need to work
conversation
on
with
it.
you later.
And
One about your divinity here.
Darendil says,
I'm intrigued.
My nature prevents such power from affecting me. That being said, there is something happening to at least a few of you, and we should either figure it out and get out of here, or vice versa.
Jimjar just is not interested in this conversation at all. He actually he's like, yeah, whatever.
So what we're working on now is trying to. We have
Very
no
dismissive.
boats, so we need to build a boat
So it was
or get out of here in some way, shape,
Chucky,
or form.
Yes.
Jimjar, Darendil,
And
just Stump?
Stool.
Stool. I'm
yes.
sorry.
Stool.
Is Andy searching the boat? Is there anything special about the boat, the wreckage?
The wood and the design of them seem to be a lot higher quality than what you were before, since basically before it was a ramshackle raft that the Kuo Toa put together.
Yeah.
These look like actual boats that were designed to ferry multiple people across
Surface
water.
boats.
Yeah. Yes. Not surface boats. They're definitely designed for caves. They're very compact, but they're longer, and they look almost as if they're better for maneuvering tighter passageways, though, than the other ones than any other boats you've ever seen.
Than the Kuo Toa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rafts.
The rafts that were just, thrown together in haste. Absolutely.
Can these boats be repaired?
You think, yeah, you could piece together a couple of pieces from a couple of different ones and throw together a boat that would carry all of you. The only issue is the time it will take you. Currently, you think,
I mean, like, what else are we gonna do?
yeah, a couple hours most of the day, but yeah, you could throw something together that'll work.
Fit all of us.
Yeah, there's enough material you could make it work.
I'm saying, get everybody to work on the boat all at once.
I would like to approach Crunch and let him know that can you control yourself, or do we need to bring you down even further?
What does it mean?
Can you give us some sort of warning if you see that tunnel or start to feel weird? Let us know. Something's wrong with you. If you can.
If I let you go, is you going to hit me?
Let him already let go.
No.
Let the whole person ward off.
No.
Varric, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Well, starting off strong, boys.
There you go.
All right.
What'd you roll?
That one.
That one. Beautiful. That will come into effect later. Anyway, who all is working on the boat now?
So I have mending, and my idea is if we just find the best possible condition boat, you guys fix up like one half, and I'll just kind of go through and just like slowly fix it as I go along, and then just keep layering it on until eventually we get a full boat.
Alright, well, I'm gonna turn
So
to the
all of
NPCs
us.
and
Probably.
John, get over here and help me build this boat.
From the piles of wreckage, you can tell that. Okay.
Yoga.
From the piles, you get the idea that this is not gonna. There's not one that is in good condition or decent condition, and it's just a couple of holes to be patched. This is. We've got like maybe 9/12 of a boat, and we can of multiple different boats, and we can piece them together to build one big boat. But and then fill in the holes some other way.
Can we investigate
So
why
it's
there's
not
so
going to
many
be just
wrecked
I
boats
stand here and cast mending.
here?
Okay,
It's
well
gonna
if
be
we can
actual
find
attaching
3/4. I like how you use 9/12.
Nine.
Yeah.
3/4.
I said 9 and I was like, oh crap, now I gotta think of a better number. Anyway,
Yeah, so like if we just find like 3/4 of one boat and then that matching 1/4 of another boat, cut that one off and just put them right together.
Yeah,
I can just stand there and go like this
He's only got
and
men just
merge
one
them together.
okay.
Shriek.
So
Yeah.
30
I
minutes
need
or
to
less.
know then who
Magic
is
boat
looking
ride.
for boat parts, for matching boat parts.
I've
who
already
is
got the NPCs helping me.
all right. Who is working to put them back together?
Shoot all them NPCs by me.
Like physically just match them back together and then attach them somehow.
I'm not.
Magic.
I think I'm more magic. I'd be better looking for pieces.
Is anyone else doing anything else other
They're not
than
magically
that?
hidden.
Me and Crunch
Yeah,
are probably
I'm
strong
not
enough
very
to bring
strong,
the pieces
so-
together if they're
Yeah.
giant hunks.
I got a
Mending
hammer you can
boats.
use.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
like
hammer. I don't have the strength to move stuff.
such and such will be
I'm
involved.
high on survival. I'll tell you how to do
So
Okay.
Can someone do an
What?
investigation check to see maybe why these boats are all wrecked here, or if it was just that thing that just got us?
it. It's a good idea. You
9
should suggest that to the group.
Can anyone here do an invest and try to figure out what's wrong with these boats, or do you guys know what's wrong with the boats? There's
I
a
would
lot
like
of them
to
wrecked
attempt
here.
an
Something's up.
investigation check onto these boats to see why they are.
sure,
What's the investigation again?
Mine's 0.
Plus 4?
Yeah.
That's mine.
sure.
You want to help or no?
Yeah, I'll investigate this mess too.
Okay, so just roll advantage.
I got a 23 unless I get an F.
Oh, he's just gonna, because I'm helping, he's gonna roll
Yeah,
advantage.
23.
They appear to have been mashed to pieces by some sort of very large creature, much larger than what you just
Okay.
fought.
The demon toad.
Yes,
Can you detect
Something
animals or
Much
something?
bigger than Crunch.
it looks
Yes.
like
But it's
Use
this
that.
was slapped to pieces by tentacles.
Okay, are there like
Massive.
suction cut marks on it?
Oh yeah.
it's within
Um,
one
It's a
kraken.
mile.
Beware the
There's
giant
some fun. This place
octopus.
is-
Is it?
Or kraken.
Is
It's
it
gonna
like?
pick up
Does
a
it
lot
look
of
like
stuff.
it's been sitting there for a while,
You
or
can
does
just
it look
detect
like it's
animals in
recent?
general.
For 1
Uh,
minute per level spell slot.
it's not ancient, but it's not recent either. It's been here a while, but not
Maybe
really
like a couple weeks, a month.
maybe a year or two,
Okay.
but not like hundreds of years or anything. It's like
These are
maybe
wooden
yeah,
toads?
They're just like 1 or 2 seasons out of style.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Last
Not
year's
that you
boats.
would know
Last
the
year's model.
style of Underdark
Yeah.
boats per se, but sure, they're definitely not brand new, but they're not old.
Okay. We recognize
Last year's
them.
models
Yeah.
of boats.
Anyway,
Okay.
No one above ground would call it dead.
for those of you working to fix the boat,
I guess.
I'm looking for pieces.
looking for matching pieces of boats that
No.
are mostly intact will be an investigation check.
My investigation is not very good. What would the building of the boat require?
Building is going to be, so you need to find matching pieces, arrange them, and then actually put them together.
Alright.
I'm going to say arranging them is going to be an athletics check, while putting them together is going to be
I'm
either...
just working with you, Kuo.
I'm gonna.
Probably
I'll roll for the athletics to arrange.
I don't know what
Okay.
I'm doing yet.
Yeah, I think you
well,
and Crunch
you
are
wanna
gonna
help
get
me?
those
I'll-
options for
Yeah,
that.
so
Thank you.
most like either the NPCs or Crunch
What?
or others
Oh,
will...
oh.
Someone will
Oh,
help
wow.
you put it together, so
Crunch
roll
likes
it
to do that.
advantage.
I roll 17.
17, okay. And then did you roll an advantage?
No, I rolled 11, but with my.
Yeah, here,
Okay,
yeah.
so roll a second time and take the
It's very
times.
popular.
Oh, well, that just got 21.
Okay, well then, that's fine.
Or
So
22,
21.
sorry.
Who was looking for boat parts? It was you.
Me.
Yeah.
My investigation sucks, but
Alright, so...
There you go.
17.
Okay, I think
Plus 0.
Virago was also helping you, so roll an
Yeah,
advantage. All of these will be
These two were
advantage.
helping looking for boats.
I'm assuming this is a team effort, so
He got
nobody's
a 4.
just
He got a
standing
4
Advantage.
advantage. 4 again.
5.
Well,
I
no,
guess.
you rolled and then he was helping you, so you would roll at advantage.
I rolled a 17,
So you roll 17 and then
Mhm.
roll again because you could get higher.
and then he got, and then I rolled a 1 for Andy, and it was 4. So I rolled a 17 and a 4.
No, you'll roll twice.
You both roll twice because
No,
you both...
just him.
No, just him rolls twice.
Okay.
It's still 2 rolls for
18.
2 people.
Okay.
It's just one has advantage.
With advantage. Alright, so
Usually it's whoever's best
you
has someone
have
else helping
you
them.
found the parts, you're arranging the parts.
I don't know
Who
what I'm
all is
doing.
working on construction, actually putting the boat together?
I'm guessing him,
This
Kevin, and the
guy.
NPCs.
Okay,
Yeah.
roll me.
What you need, boss?
Let's think about.
Am I helping you or am I just like bothering Crunch?
Help me keep an eye on Crunch.
First of all, roll me an intelligence check. Just straight intelligence.
Oh, I should have done that.
Don't do me.
1.
Is this at advantage?
Is anyone helping him?
Linus.
Sure.
Tycho.
I think you haven't been helping anybody else, right? Yeah.
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah.
He's helping me keep an eye on Crunch to make sure he doesn't go ballistic
And,
again.
you know, doing
If he
whatever.
does, I'm gonna whole person like that. So
Is that a
I got that.
cantrip?
No, it's personal spell.
Wow!
Stop.
0.
No, you both holding that one.
0. Beautiful.
I have -1 to
Oh,
my
no, no,
total.
no.
Hanging
like
on
I
the
said,
wood. Just,
You are
we got
helping.
it.
Smashing
Like I
fingers
said.
and shit.
No,
You're helping him.
Just,
So it won't
No
be you
nails,
rolling, it'll
nothing.
be him rolling at advantage.
Oh, okay. That's
So
right, yeah.
you roll a
This is
1,
a
and now you can roll a second
This is another intelligence.
intelligence at
Okay.
advantage.
So it's basically the same thing, but
Well, that's a 17.
Okay.
that's so much better than what we got.
Alright, now roll me
We're
an
quite banging on the wood.
now roll me an athletics check.
Okay.
At advantage?
had to make sure
Yes.
you're smart enough to know how to do
Athletics
it, and not if you're
advantage.
strong enough to do it.
Athletics at advantage. Well, that's an at 20.
Alright.
At advantage, can I do it
I
again?
mean, you gotta roll again. You could be rolling a second act 20.
Would that make any sort of difference?
Alright.
That's gotta be like auto success. Like
It is
you
going
grow
to
5,000 pounds of muscle as you just
It's
bust
like
through
as your
everything.
holy hammer hits the. That's it. It's just restored.
It's like, Felix Fix It. Just ding! Full boat.
It is going to take an hour of an hour for a number of things. So I'm sorry, I screwed that up already. It will take 4 total hours to do all of this work of finding matching pieces, putting them together,
Does that count as a short rest?
arranging them. No, because you're working through that.
Yeah, we're working
So,
through this. It's not a rest.
Finding matching pieces, arranging them together, actually attaching them, and the intelligence was to figure out whether you could logically know how to build a boat, where it would be structurally sound. You did a halfway decent job with some help, and
You saved us.
4 hours later, you're all exhausted and tired from building a boat, but you have a functioning longboat. It is 20 feet long
Woo!
and 10 feet wide.
Woo. So
At
that
the- at the
is
start.
eight
It's,
spots.
2 by 4.
Yep.
Now we know there's a giant octopus
Oh.
out there somewhere.
Beware the watcher in the
How
water.
are you doing? Oh. Yeah, it's a 2x4. It's at 8 spots.
We have
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Can we use any
But, like,
abilities in any
isn't
way to help us?
Stool small enough to sit on his shoulder?
Yeah, he's not on my
Yes.
shoulder.
Yeah, so like
buddy.
that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Take it. So then
Do
that's,
we have any rope? Because I can fly and tug the boat. If
I
we
mean,
have a
I can
spot
run
in
on
the
water.
You find a
Yeah, we have
number
rope.
of oars throughout the wreckage as well, or some started boards that will work as oars. You do find probably 50 feet of rope. You
Yeah, I
probably
have
also
50 feet of rope on me actually.
Well, you find another 50 feet of rope, and like I said, you've got oars.
We
You've got
just
a
make some range.
decent rudder
Rudolph.
working, but it's not super. Its range of motion is not complete. Your rudder, so you have the oars to compensate for that.
Okay.
Can we
and
take a
thrust.
long rest now that we're sitting here on this beach?
Can we take some of the spare wood we didn't use and make a bonfire to eat and rest?
Oh yeah, certainly. You can take either a short rest or, I'd say, it's been. Let's see. How long has it been, O'Day? You took
Well,
a
told us to
long
get
rest
outta
last
here,
time.
I would like to point out that we've been here a while
Woke
and
up
there have
and
been
started
at least
looking
2
around.
incidents.
Yeah, we basically just
Like-
started
Yeah.
building the other boat,
Short
or
rest.
repairing the other boat on the other island, but then immediately we're wrapped in combat here. So this is like the first event of the day is combat.
So it is probably 12 around noon or 1 o'clock currently.
Take a short rest.
So you could take a short rest if you would like.
Or do you guys
What
want
does
to
that
keep
do for
going?
me?
Get at the hell
I
out of
say
here.
we take a short rest.
It heals a little bit of health, right?
Yeah, you can
Like-
spend hit die to regain health, etc. Some of you
Spend hit
get
die,
stuff
or just
spent.
like roll it.
Well, you spend you have a
Whoa,
you can
whoa,
only
whoa,
use a
I've
number of
never
them
put
per
a
day.
short rest with
So you
that.
can
Oh,
only
that's
technically
what's
have a
right.
number of short rests and get.
1d6
How many is
plus
that?
3.
Probably says
You
somewhere.
can use as many as you would like. You have a number of hit dice equal to your level. So you could spend as many of them as you want during a short rest to gain that many hit points back when you roll it, plus your Constitution modifier.
So in a short rest with a
Um,
sorcerer, I roll a dice, and that's how many hit points I get back. Or how many?
It's for all characters.
slots?
Yeah, you can use spend hit die. Do sorcerers get spells?
Yeah,
slots?
when I type my thing right here, it comes up and says that.
Okay.
And when I
Check
hit
that
short
out.
rest, it comes up with hit die 1d6 plus 3 for a total of 9 you can add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think wizards are the only ones that get
But they
spell
don't give
slots
you
back,
don't give you
though.
spell slots, it's hit die.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you can get hit points
They just
back,
let you
basically.
refill your health. You only get spell slots
Was
back
I
after a
wounded?
long rest.
Yeah,
Right now,
okay,
I was at full health, but I know you said I got hit in that back of the head.
Yeah, actually, I need to roll to see what happens with you. Something does happen.
Oh boy.
I gain 4 health.
Yes, you will be at half health currently.
So
at
do
the
we
time-
round up or round down?
Round up, and as you go to rest, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
I'm at 34. Is a 6 plus. You say Constitution?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 1. So 7.
So beautiful. Stand by.
Okay.
What's my health? I would gain 4 health. Jeremy, 4 health. I roll a 1 plus 3.
Page 2.
Is he able to like alert
I'm
us of
going
this stuff
to.
happening?
Should I take a potion right
The
now?
only thing that he's telling you that is
46
happening
out of 74.
is
So
he has a very sharp headache currently.
Don't waste your patience.
Do we build
Should we do a healing now? Or
Yes, it takes
good.
4
4
hours.
hours have passed.
And you're at 4 hours have passed,
And
and
we've
you have
taken a
built the
short
boat
rest.
is 20 feet long by 10 feet wide.
It's a big boat.
You have a number of oars and a very awkward to operate rudder.
Do we have a drum on one end of it?
Would I be able to like?
Can we have a paddle boat?
Row, boom, row, boom.
We gotta get away from this octopus.
Ramen speed.
I just want a paddle boat.
I believe that's a
Yeah.
With a
I
swan
guess we
neck.
should. I guess we should have known. There's a
As
giant
you
octopus on
start
the
to rest, as you come out of your rest
I thought that was just flavor.
and finish your short rest,
Short
Varric, your headache, the back of your head starts to get worse. and you can feel something running down the
progress.
side of your face, out of your eye.
Your hit die, you should have 9 total.
Okay.
You need to roll them one at a time.
Anyone
See how
that
many
looks
hit
at him
points you can
sees that
regain.
his
You can
eyes are
spend as many as
bleeding.
you want.
My eyes are
He's
bleeding, guys.
bleeding
Guys,
from
don't
his
do that, 'cause
eyes.
That wasn't too hard.
Okay,
Can somebody do a
can
medicine
I, like,
check?
do
Do
a
that, Kevin.
medicine check?
Huh?
We
Yeah.
short
Certainly.
rest so we get health back.
Because that sounds
Okay.
pretty bad. It sounds like medicine.
I
Like,
just rolled one
medicine check
dice.
might
That's
help.
all I'm
So
supposed
you
to
get
roll.
9.
I got
You
some
get one hit
herbalism
dice per
kit. I
level,
don't know if that's
Jeremy.
gonna help at all.
Yes.
I don't know what that does.
I
Uh,
can choose which one I roll. To do.
It's just like, hey, you can have an herbalism kit.
You have
Sure.
Barbarian and Barbarian.
Yeah.
Start with
It's-
Barbarian.
It's
Didn't
one.
tell me anything.
Wait, it's
Yeah,
one per
it gives
level
me-
plus 3.
Yes. For your combo.
Sorry,
is 5.
1,
4 plus
6.
That's 8.
another 4.
For each one, you add 3.
8.
Isn't it plus
8,
Constitution?
9,
For each
10,
level.
12,
Alright.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
That's good enough.
26,
I need 30.
27.
31.
43 sounds good.
Is
Okay.
everybody just rolling all of the hit dice?
No.
No.
That's 3.
What
My eyes are
did you
bleeding. They're
roll
trying
for
to
the
figure
medicine
out why.
check?
37.
No, this is for the short rest of
Oh.
regaining health.
Do
I'm
I
trying to.
get to regain health, or am I still getting wounded?
I'm at full health.
You
can only
regain
roll
health.
also as many
I
die
will
as
tell you
long as
what
have
happens with that.
or less
Yeah, I'm
than
waiting for
your
Ben because I
current
want to do a
level.
medicine check.
So
But
if
Ben's
you're
still
level
like.
9, you can roll
I
up
don't
to
know.
5.
Do I roll for medicine check already?
Yes, tell me what you rolled in the medicine check.
So you roll half of your.
It's 22.
In a short
22.
rest, the most health you can regain is at most
This
5
is a disease
Because
he has
level 9.
contracted.
Yeah, it's meant to be
That's
short
good.
rest, not a full
Is
rest.
this like
Okay.
Sereth stuff?
It's
all
got
over again?
No, this is not fungal infection. This is an actual disease called sight rot.
Oh, that sounds bad.
We know.
Sight rot is a painful infection causing bleeding of the eyes and eventually blinding the victim permanently.
What can I do about that?
You know that it is mostly contracted by drinking tainted water.
What did you do?
I imagine he probably ingested somebody.
Probably, yeah, when I was
whatever.
floating in the
A day after
Yeah.
infection, the creature's vision starts to become blurry,
Then why does he have it
and
then?
slowly
If he
their
hasn't had
vision
a
just
cure?
goes and goes and
Yeah,
goes until they're eventually blind.
You can't do anything about
Is
it.
there anything I can do?
Yes,
You
you know that there is. There's magical spells that can restore him completely, and cure disease,
They're not
cure
bad.
anything that
Take
can
a
cure
raisin.
disease magically.
Okay.
Giant raisin.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, this is going bad.
I can roll Arcana.
worry
My
about
Arcana is too high. Can I do it?
Can I like call for help? Phone
Sure.
a friend?
So, I mean, yeah, you can discuss this openly. I assume.
Here.
Okay, I'm gonna have him do that because I have minus
Is that
1 to
Bruce?
that.
21.
You know that magical spells such as Lesser Restoration or Heal will temporarily remove the blindness, but until the disease is cured, it will slowly get worse and worse. The sight rot can be cured using a rare flower called eyebright, which grows in some swamps. Given an hour, with the use of a herbalism kit and proficiency, you can turn flower into a dose of ointment, applying to the eyes before a long rest. One dose prevents the disease prevents the disease from worsening after the rest. After 3 doses, the ointment cures the disease entirely.
Okay. Well, I have an herbalism kit and I am proficient with it, so we just need to find that flower.
A rare flower called eyebright.
Great.
It grows in
Swamps.
in some swamps.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say there are not swamps in the Underdark.
Not here. Not where you are currently. You do know that there is plant life in the Underdark. There are a wide variety of.
Like Chucky or any of them know anything about swamps in the Underdark?
Good call.
Good question. You should ask them.
Chucky. What is the other one? Jimjar and Darendil?
Darendil.
Are there any swamps nearby?
I was just about to say
With
that. Good memory.
plant life, preferably.
No.
And you ask them about the specific plant?
Yes.
Flower.
Eyebright?
Eyebright, yeah.
Darendil says, I'm not from the Underdark. I don't know anything about swamps or plants in the Underdark. Jimjar says,
That's not bad.
Alright.
Jim Jar says crash.
Alright. Jim Jar says,
Give me our gold. Give it all.
I bet you anything it's that direction. But I don't know. I bet you 100 gold it's that direction.
Which direction is that direction? Which direction is he pointing?
He points off to the direction of path 3. Which actually is the other path, which is the other path that you know, or we're told where that Kuo Toa is with the boat.
Okay, so that's the same direction as the guy with the barge. Okay.
Yes.
One told us not. So one person told us not to go there. The other one, he's telling us to go there.
He's telling us that direction, that there might be someplace that way. And Chucky says that guy doesn't know what you're talking about. The best place to get it is the shops in the Darklake district in Greckelstug. You can buy anything there.
And how far away is Greckelstug?
Far away. We are
How
still far away.
is the closest person that knows cure disease?
How far away would be the nearest healer or person who knows? Oh, do you actually know cure disease?
Not perfect.
Perfect.
Do you really know? Do you actually know cure disease?
Sure, yeah.
Oh well, in that case.
In that case, this is
Here, give me
this
the
whole thing. Is just
Man, you made me look up all this obscure disease for nothing.
You're the one that came up
Actually,
with
I do not.
Aha.
Okay, so it wasn't fair.
I have
Is it-
detect poison and disease.
Is it something you can learn, or something?
It
mean, I
might
feel like
be.
it
I can
is.
remove curse, and I can lesser restoration. I can dispel magic.
You know, lesser restoration will delay,
Yeah,
reset
it'll-
the process. So basically,
Oh, it resets it, or
it
just
resets the process so that or it'll make his vision better again. But it'll take a certain number of days for him to go blind, and then lesser restoration will remove it temporarily, but it will get worse and worse again.
Okay.
It'll also get more painful.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a reset. It's just kind of like
No, it's
slowing it down
It
a
slows
slight
down.
reverse.
Yeah, it slows down the
Like
process.
very soothing.
I would say.
Like the magic.
And a slight alleviation of
Yes.
symptoms.
Yes, it will alleviate the symptoms temporarily. Your disease is not a spell. Your wounds,
What is cure disease then?
I don't know.
An ability?
Paladins can do disease stuff.
It's gotta be like remove poison.
That's not poison, it's disease.
Oh yeah, but it's gotta have something on this.
Go to the index.
Let me think.
I go to the index.
Well, there's no like cure disease or anything.
Alright. Let him run.
Can I throw a pebble at Crunch, please?
Like one of those like elite.
Can I just throw a pebble at
martial
Crunch?
artists with like a
Don't do that.
headband over their
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. That would be sick.
Alright, LaFleur, drop the blindfold. Cut the crap.
Yeah, you would need to find possibly like a paladin. Paladins can remove disease, or a wish spell.
No problem. Those are the only two ways, or this plant.
Or this plant. The plant's gonna be the easiest.
Yeah, Plant's probably gonna need that. Good luck finding a paladin down here.
I mean,
I'm
wish
sure.
spell will fix anything. So,
Well.
but that's a 9th level spell. Good luck.
Alright, so question.
Yes.
Dragons are reptiles, right?
Uh,
So reptiles have regenerative factors. Can I like get them out and regrow new eyes?
no.
I think eyes are gonna be a little too complex to regrow like that.
But I will
It
not
was an
stop you
arm
from
for-
gouging out your own eyes if that is what you would like to try.
Please don't do that.
No.
Don't exhaust all
In
your
the
options.
meantime, until this is resolved,
So check.
your how it will affect you is that your eyes are slightly blurry. You have disadvantage on perception checks
Okay.
based on sight to see things. You have -2 currently to attack rolls,
It's the guy that plays Captain America.
and that bonus will increase by 1. That penalty will increase by 1 at the end of every long rest you take. So basically, every day you'll get an extra minus. And you don't know how many days that it takes to go blind, but eventually one day you will fully go blind.
Alright. And then I can become the martial artist with the headband over his eyes.
Certainly.
The master.
Daredevil.
All right. So you have a boat. What do you do?
And then how are we gonna do fireball? We're gonna do that like end of.
I'm gonna just cast a
Just
fireball and let them
back
land
to
where
the
they may.
Oh, I was thinking it'd be like Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. When Colonel Mustang traded his eyesight.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys doing?
You guys
Whoa.
want to check out this last and final island, or just skedaddle? There's like a house over there.
I think we should leave.
That's the top of the boat.
This one over here, you mean?
That's a piece of a boat.
Yeah, that's a. You can see sort of. It's actually not that far away. You can actually see there's some more wreckage on this island. And this one's just more of a barren rock than this
Oh
one.
dear, I don't. Oh.
Let's say.
Alright, what way do you guys want to go?
Yeah.
I would debate.
Darendil, Jimjar, and Chucky are all just very eager to get out of here.
I
They're
say we
like,
get out.
yeah.
Which path are we taking them?
Darendil
Path
especially.
3 is where he thinks the swamp is.
Darendil especially is very interested in leaving. He's just like, there was a frog monster. We've been attacked by hags. It's time to leave.
All right, Sarah.
I'm with them.
Obviously,
To be fair,
this
he's
cavern
right.
is not safe, and we
Alright,
should
Frog
go.
Man, where are we going?
Frogman?
Where are you going?
Fish
You know,
Man, whatever. What is he?
What?
Sarah.
Darendil?
Sarah's not here.
No, Sarah
Darendil's
does the dark elf.
Quagoth.
Darendil is the one that was talking about. He's the Quagoth, yes.
Alright, Bear. Where are we going?
I don't know. I'm just along for the ride. Wherever you all would like to go, just not here. So where would you like to go?
Maybe we should pay. We have a small, quick boat, though, right? Or well,
Yeah.
comparing.
You think that this boat will definitely increase the speed at which you'll be able to travel is definitely increasing with this boat, as well as the maneuverability of it. So.
I say we take path 3 just because it's the closest. We don't have to go across the water. The less time we spend in the
And
water.
that's the place that we said there might be a swamp to get the plant. What? You're my eyesight.
Yeah, who said it now? One of them.
One of the NPCs, but I don't remember who.
I'm fine with path 3.
Okay. That is the direction that leads to Thupshib. Yes, the Kuo Toa with the boat.
Barge master?
I thought that was
the
one.
ferryman. No. Path 1 was the safe path. Path 1 is the dangerous path. Path 2 is the one she said was safe. And Path 3 is the one that leads you to Thupshib, who has the ferry that ferries people across the Darklake through a secret underground river that he supposedly knows of.
Okay.
That is much faster. It's much safer, but it's much further roundabout direction.
And why are we trying to get to the Darklake again?
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Just
Okay.
carrying on
I have all my key
your
again.
mission of returning these NPCs to their home.
Okay.
Also, Tycho and Varric's former company were supposed to meet them in the Neverlight Grove, which is past the Durgar city of Gracklestug, which is where Chucky's from.
Okay.
So that is even farther than Drachelstone.
Yes, so we are going to meet at Gracklestug, drop him off, and maybe gather some more supplies
Why
there.
on earth would they say, hey, meet at this place that's like
That's terrible.
half a world away?
Because
have
they
a
were
lot of
going in a
terrible
they went a roundabout way around the Darklake, and you went through the Darklake.
Okay.
So.
Let's do it.
So that is basically your current goal is to get to Gracklestug because Chucky said that's where first of all that's where he's from, so he wants to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, he said you can get you'll probably be able to get a lot more supplies there for your journey, and also that might be a good place to look for some answers as to why
there, maybe?
as to why and how Demogorgon is here.
Is there potential for a merchant?
Yes, there's a whole merchant
Excellent.
section, so
Sit down.
that's what I was saying.
You
Right.
still
Um,
offload some of this crap I have. Get
so you
some
said
gold, buy a fishing rod. That needs to happen.
That's way down the line. We first got to take the path. Hopefully it's correct. Then we get to the dude with the boat. Then the dude with the boat takes us there.
Oh, the barge man?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Path 3 leads you to him, and he can take you to Gracklestug. It's a longer route, but it's a lot safer, supposedly. It's just, timetable wise. Demogorgon is here, so why is he here? Any information you want to learn about that? Because the more time you're spending on the Darklake, the more time you're not understanding what's going on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because
You know what? At this point,
because
let's take the safe
This
long
should
trip.
definitely.
That's my vote.
I think we agreed on 3.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. Fine.
Linus,
It's the
Path
closest.
Psycho, you agree with Path 3?
Yes.
Crunch gets no vote.
Crunch didn't help. He doesn't get a vote.
Don't care.
Okay.
Crunch don't care.
We'll just
So-
leave Crunch on the island. He'll be fine.
Then you can you spent the long rest, so you're geared up
Short
and ready
rest.
to go. Short rest. So you're geared up and ready to go.
But I have all my key points again. So.
You're actually quite near the entrance to Path 3.
Yes, we
As
are.
you can see here,
Spells resetting short rest.
No.
you're right here. So going up right this path is pretty easy.
Part of the plan.
Okay. So as
Put
you
on
did,
some
you set
sailing
off.
music.
You put on some sailing,
Start singing
Sing
some
a shanty.
shanty, some sea
Add a
shanties.
shanty.
some
in
sea
there.
shanties.
I do not have a musical instrument.
Should have added on top the dripping.
Oh look, the water's gone.
From Assassin's
Turn it
Creed.
up slightly. Just let that play for just a couple minutes.
How did you play the shit out of this game?
I love this game. Assassin's Creed 4 was the best one.
Can you unlock more sea shanties as you win?
Oh, there's tons of them.
That's awesome.
You can go around and collect them all. It's hilarious.
You know what key all
Alright,
sea
turn it off.
shanties? You know what key all sea shanties are sung in?
What?
High C.
No.
Kill you.
That's how we're gonna get our subscribers with like puns.
No, yeah.
So-
Come
That'll
for
be
the
our
puns.
thing.
Stay for the
I think there's
subscriptions.
one.
No, just kidding. That's
Yeah,
how we're
give
gonna lose
everyone
them.
if there's a-
Oh, you want it.
Cave music.
Alright,
Mm-mm.
where did Kelly go?
Mhm.
Okay, I just wondering where Kelly went.
I think I went to the bathroom.
Okay.
A quiet 3 days pass as you
Well.
I should have banished.
as you travel the dark.
Did not think it was fun.
So we are making our way to
Did not
Thupshield
think it was
Yes.
with our new boat.
Yes.
Okay.
fun. Banish one.
A quiet 3 days pass. You may all
Been
heal
3
back up.
days?
It's been 3 days through the dark tunnel.
So we're completely healed?
Yes.
Back up to
You
full
would-
hit points.
It's been 3
Rations. 3
Yeah,
rations.
mark off 3 rations / spend 3 spell slots. Really.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about rations because supposedly, Larcoon can just magically summon
He also
create
supposedly had healed disease.
food. Oh yes.
Which I have not used
Full
yet.
hit points.
That's the restoration. I have not used
This.
this.
Varric's disease is becoming more and more serious.
I would recommend using this
he's-
restoration.
He tells you that he
Before
can
Before
barely.
Captain America.
He can hold. He holds his hand out in front of his face. He says, "I can barely even see my hand."
Okay.
By the end of the 3 days, he's not in a good place.
I thought it was hilarious.
I just
Because you got a mustache.
I love sea shanties.
Yeah.
It's so great. And with that,
Do you listen to this while driving down the road?
Puts on his tricorn hat.
You don't have a tricorn hat?
so one day I will own a convertible, and I'm just gonna full blast the entire
Yes.
list of those out of it all the time over the summer. For those watching, if this plan ever comes through, this video will be interesting to watch again and to see how far we've come. All right.
And so we
Now,
have
if
a
you will
full
direct
rest.
your attention to the
Oh
board,
boy! What do we
something
got?
Oh yeah.
has changed.
I
What
didn't
has
know which
changed?
path we were going down. Did you have 6 different paths?
Wait.
I have
Where's
all the paths planned out.
Where's this light coming from? Why are there shadows?
You are what?
Why are there shadows?
Don't worry about the shadows. Because
But there's no shadows in
because
Cave.
the thing that I use to draw this map automatically puts shadows in whenever you do it.
You probably already thought
It's
about
coming
that.
from the cave, son. Duh.
Oh, the cave sun. Yes.
Don't
Yeah,
stand
well,
directly,
there's-
it'll blind you.
Well, as always,
Caleb
there's
can.
phosphorescent lichens and moss and fungi.
Except those are
and
going to be
stuff.
all over the place. They're not going to give
There's-
distinct shadows like that.
He's got a point.
I know. It's the map
Game
making
is
tool.
unplayable.
No,
Literally
that make
unplayable.
it-
Coming
What happened
unimmersed.
is Poop Shiv or whoever.
Poop shit.
It's definitely poop
Thoop
shit.
Shib.
Instead of poop shit.
Thoop Shib. THOOP SHIB.
Got it.
Poop shove.
shit. Right.
I can't even with you people. Okay,
So
so
what he did is he took all of this glowing moss and lichen and everything. He just collected all of it, put it into a ball, and stuck it in the ceiling.
that's exactly what happens. There's a large ball of glowing moss on the ceiling, on the far side of this cavern.
That's why they're shadows.
Can I run a history
As you are
check?
heading down the path, you come down here. You enter from here. Ahead of you is a path that splits to the left and right. The right opens up into a wider cavern, whereas this splits off. But this river that you've been following runs straight diagonally through. Up ahead, you can see a crudely built dock with a smaller skiff attached. Actually, no, it is a large barge. It's not a small skiff. It's a large barge.
Large barge.
Up a winding mountainous path, you can see what appears to be a small hut.
With growing stuff?
With what appears to be a small
Farmville.
Can you
yeah.
cabbage?
a small garden behind.
Cave cabbage.
The cave beyond this cliff, beyond the small cliff though, and the plateau that it stands on, the cave wanders further into the darkness, out of sight.
Pretty cool program you did. That's pretty neat. You can sort of just drop like. That's neat.
So this
How
is
do you
what
get all the wood down
this is
here?
what you see.
History check. Logistics check.
You can see that it is Zerk wood, made from mushrooms. And so that is what you see. What is your actions?
Can we pull up next to? Can we also
Yeah,
pull this?
can we like dock there?
Certainly. There's room at the dock to
Okay.
dock your boat next
Let's
to
do
the
that.
barge.
Let's go up and see if Poop Shib?
Shib.
Shit. Poop
Shib.
shove.
Dib.
Poop shove it.
Poop dib.
Poop shoving.
Let's go see if Thoop Shib is home.
Sir Poop Shovins.
After all, we spent like an
He's
extra
been
day in the
knighted since we
cavern.
last talked
And they
to
said
him.
we'd have to wait anyway, so. I mean, his barge is here, so I assume he's home.
His car's in the driveway.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where else is he gonna go?
I'm just looking through all of this. There's funny shit I've saved on my phone.
Oh, okay. I thought you were laughing at me commenting on the barge.
You're not,
I laughed
you're
at
not
him.
that funny, Ryan.
I didn't think it was funny. That's why I was confused.
The surface of the water is very smooth here, and the channel is over 80 feet deep.
How
The
do we
far
know that?
bank and the cover shown
Drop
is
the mic
more
and test it.
Okay.
barge with a sculling oar.
It's been 3
Barge
days to fully heal,
operated.
but you're also going blind.
You're not completely blind.
Not completely.
Well,
if
you
you hold
said
your
after
hand,
3 days, I get a -1.
Yes,
Every 2,
you
so
are at
-5.
-5.
Alright, day 2 into the journey, I'm going to Lesser Restoration him, and I'm going to get him back to his regular
Okay, so
self.
then you are at -1 again. But still at disadvantage for perception checks.
And we've come to this position right here.
Yes.
We're at this dock right
Yes,
here.
as you can see from the border, that is where you are. And you are
The
at these
ship
little,
there is actually Thoop Shib's barge.
from what you can gather, yes.
Or-
The path that
that's
goes
what we
this
assume it
way.
It is a large barge, and that is what they told. What the
Farm.
hag told you that he had
Yeah.
is a large barge.
Of course, you know, the
Uh,
hags also attacked us. So,
Small camp up the hill, up a winding mountainous path, up onto a little plateau of a cliff. There is a small campfire outside of a small hut, and a little
oh, there's a
patch
campfire.
of
He's definitely home.
little farm
Yeah.
patch
Lights
outside.
are on, car in the driveway.
He's home.
He's definitely home.
He's definitely home. Okay, so what do you do?
I'm gonna go say hi to Thoop Shib.
Yeah, I'm gonna start walking up and
And
going.
also
Say
see
hi
if
to
I can
Thoop
check in
Shib.
that garden for Eyebright.
Ask him.
Well,
That
okay,
might be
ask
weird.
first, yes.
Yeah, we'll ask him.
And if he refuses to answer, then we're just going to shut it
We'll
off.
take it. There's 7 of us, 6 of us.
What's one Kuo Toa gonna do?
Yeah. We could kill him and take his boat.
No, I'm not that dark. I might be half dark elf, but I'm not actually that dark. I was
think I'm-
essentially raised by humans. In a monastery.
Now that I said it, I kind of want to kill him and take his boat.
Alright,
I didn't see a human
No.
until I was like 30 years old.
so you wander up the path.
I didn't see a dark
it's-
elf until I came down here.
It's very narrow path, but it's not difficult
call
to
dark elf?
traverse.
I can also run up walls, so
Certainly.
In the
I-
water.
It's
I
probably
can run on water, run up walls, like
I literally can just go.
the cavern it's in is
and
utterly
smack into a
massive,
wall.
at least 100 feet
Like a
tall.
bat.
The
No
plateau
sonar.
rises 30 feet above the surface of the water. So the path backs and forths across itself, up
switchbacks,
the
yeah.
switchbacks across itself, up to the top of the plateau, which is 30 feet above the water.
Okay.
Surface of the water where you guys are. Okay. Campfire burning outside, and
I'm gonna go up there, knock on the door.
I
okay.
would like to accompany.
Yeah, me too.
You knock on the door. A wild-eyed Kuo Toa opens the door and stares you in the eyes.
Wait, more wild-eyed than usual?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He appears to be slightly
different
foaming
direction
at the
like a
mouth also.
Or-
It's Uncle Johnny.
Oh shit.
The Kuo Toa appears to be foaming at the mouth, and a horrid smell of rotting fish wafts out of the door. Everyone make
Definitely is.
everyone
Are
make
you
a
are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like you're right. We are going to have to
anyone
go.
have a Constitution score that is not a positive bonus. Positive movement.
Mine's
10 or
positive.
lower.
10 or lower?
Yes.
Me.
Certainly.
But that's my highest one is Constitution. It's not
Alright.
10 or higher.
10.
No, as in your true score. Not the
Oh,
modifier.
no.
A modifier that isn't
Okay.
positive.
Didn't he say saving throw?
So if your Constitution is 10 or higher,
Yeah, my
10 or
Constitution
less.
is 10 or higher.
10 or
It
less,
should
I
be
mean.
Yeah, if it's 10 or less, there's
trouble.
something bad happening.
So nobody has a
Constitution.
No, mine's
nobody has
Wait for an
a
answer.
bad
I mean,
Constitution. Is what you're
reading
saying.
Big brawlers here. So.
Okay. So the smell is
Who's
bad,
asking?
but you're able to just cover your
I'm
face
not even
before
with
you get
You're staying
absorb too
in the
much of it
Yes.
and get sickened by it.
He's that little Hagrid
From inside, past
That
him,
building?
inside you can see a large pile of dried seaweed to sleep on, various shell and
In the
stone
building.
containers and utensils, and odds and ends of
House.
other
It's a
gear
building.
are
No,
placed
in the
about the
building.
place.
Yeah, it's a building.
A natural pot is is carved out of the floor of stone,
Hagrid.
however. However, a stalagmite thrust into the mouth of this opening appears to be quite natural. There appears to be some sort of cover over it, though, but you can see it's like sort of half over it, so you can see that there is like a natural stone bowl carved into the floor in the center.
Natural as in it's part
No,
of the stone?
sorry,
Or?
unnatural as in it looks as if it was carved out of the stone floor.
Okay.
But there is a stalagmite that looks naturally there in front of it, blocking
Stalagmite or stalactite?
stalagmite,
Okay.
as if
So
it
it's
was
like
there and he built the house around it, and that it appears to be having a bunch of other like gear and stuff and cooking utensils dangling off of it as some sort of rack, like a.
Oh, okay.
It's like it almost looks like he's using it as a spice rack. He's got little like
Oh.
platforms carved out of it to sit stuff on. He's got little hooks carved into it
Okay.
to hang like things on and stuff.
He's somewhat civilized, at least.
It appears.
Aside from the wild eyes and foamy mouth.
He's
I mean, you
somewhat-
know, and there's also you've seen how Kuo Toa lived before. They have a big
It's
mound
not-
of seaweed that's a bed that
It's
they use as a
not
bed.
elegant in any way, shape,
Yeah.
or form.
Like large shells they use as cups and bowls and
I've
stuff
seen
like that.
homeless people live better.
Basically, yeah. But I mean, it is an actual house, and it looks like this one is actually built with more quality than with the other ones you've seen.
Maybe that's
They're-
why he's exiled.
They're made with zirkwood instead of driftwood, zirkwood planks, and it still has the rickety looking multi-level build that the other Kuo Toa buildings had.
Fire.
But this one appears to have been built with a much higher quality.
Okay.
Be that materials or intent, you're not sure, but both are possible.
Okay.
Both are possible.
Both are possibly
As he
possible.
throws the door open, he looks at you, and are you you're the first one at the
I
door?
imagine I'm the one knocking on the door.
All right. He stares at you, mouth hanging open,
Do the work.
foaming at the mouth, and he looks at you in the eye and he says, "Customers," in a very broken, common voice. It's very bubbly, like the
Kuo Toa.
bloop bloops that the Kuo Toa spoke before, but it is common tongue English
Okay.
spoken to you. And he just screeches,
Oh,
"Customers!"
wow.
at you. And then he holds out a webbed hand.
I slap a pamphlet full of thunder on his hand.
You heard him.
He just stands there and stares at it. What do you do?
Mr. Voice of the group.
Hi, how are you?
Ourselves.
We were told you could take us across the Darklake. We've come very far.
Did we
Yeah,
figure out if he
exactly.
sells any of that grass stuff?
We're also
We're
looking
gonna
for
get there.
It's
Eyebright.
gonna get
Bright,
there.
Eyebright.
We're looking
It's
for
not
Eyebright and
grass.
anything else you
Calm down.
may have for sale. Yes.
Take ship?
Yes.
Go? Where
Yeah.
go?
Dark. Where do we want to go?
Greckelstug.
Brickle Stag.
We need to go to Greckelstug.
Greckelstug. Greckelstug.
Dwarf house.
Yes.
Go,
This-
dwarf house?
You know how to get to Greckelstug?
Long way.
Is that where Dwarf's
Long
house
way.
is?
Pay now.
How much?
Yes.
Just give him 1 gold.
Now,
piece.
yeah,
What
I was gonna say,
need?
I give him what
Give the
we
kid
need.
$1.
Pay.
I'm gonna give him 1 gold coin.
Okay. He stands there and wide-eyed just stares at it for a minute. Mouth hanging open, foam dripping from his mouth. Pay.
I did.
Pay more, he said.
Pay more.
I would also give him 1.
I'll give him 1.
There's like
I
30
don't
seconds.
know how much I
A
had.
whole like 30 seconds to a minute goes by between each time you just put something in his hand and he just looks at it. He's just like, pay more. And he holds out his
I'm gonna
hand to
walk
someone
up
else.
to the guys there at the house. I'm gonna walk up to the house there with him. What's going on here?
We're trying to negotiate a safe passage to Dwarf House.
And he
wherever
sees
that
you
may
walk
be.
up and he just looks at you and he goes, pay.
All right, I'll give him 10 gold coins.
Pay. And he looks at Crunch this time. Pay.
He wants it from everyone. That's for
I'm gonna hit him.
admission.
You're gonna hit him?
No,
As he raises his fist, I'm going to roll
Sleeping.
person on Crunch. If you raise your fist.
Take
This is
money
so
out of
good.
Crunch's pocket.
I'm just going to have hold person permanently on the ready just for Crunch. Not for the bad guys, just for Crunch.
Just for Crunch.
No one else gets help, just Crunch.
Like, we can handle ourselves.
Beginning of a situation. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna hold a hold. I'm gonna prepare a spell.
Yeah, if
I'm
he's
gonna
gonna-
hold person and just wait.
You always gotta be prepared.
If he's
'cause
gonna
the end
do-
of combat.
does that action go down?
Shit.
Are you
What
actually trying to
doing?
hit
What are
him?
you doing? What are you actually doing, Crunch? He's standing there, phone in the mouth,
Or are
staring
you
at you
running base
crazy,
still?
holding a pile of
And
gold
just
coins in
leaving.
his hand.
And just leave. Screw this guy.
Alright, so you walk away.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll give him a gold 4 Crunch.
That's what I was gonna say. If he's gonna swing.
What is your roll me an athletics check?
Yeah.
Contested athletics. He's trying to reach out and grab your shoulder.
A lot.
Yeah. 22.
Alright, he stormed out of the house
No,
still holding
sorry.
one out, and-
24.
and he grabbed it. You felt a hand on your shoulder and you managed to just shrug him off. It looked like he was trying to grab you and turn you around. And he's just screaming, pay! Pay! Pay!
Now can I, like, as he tries to grab me, can I shrug him off and...
Is that what you would like to do?
Old person.
I would like to try and hit him as he tries to grab me.
Okay. Go ahead.
That feels like a
Alright.
equal exchange.
Oh, look, that's a 23. Or no, 22.
Are you trying to hurt him or just like...
Oh no, as he grabs me, I'm shoving him off and knocking
So
him
you're just
again.
trying to push him?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So
Not
23 will
Wow.
certainly push him back.
And then
So
I'm guessing it's
I
unarmed,
know.
so it's 1d4.
That's brilliant.
I
Aww.
would say it wouldn't even be an attack, it would just be a shove.
Alright, fine.
So, I mean, if
I would
you're
like
trying,
to shove him
if you're-
really hard.
I mean, if you're trying to hurt him,
I am
That's
also
when he was key
a
grip.
very large person
Here we
who
go.
is extremely strong.
Sorry.
While
A
there's
shove will
little-
probably knock him
While
on
those
his
little
ass.
fish guys trying to grab me.
How does it even reach his shoulder? Aren't they like this tall?
He has very,
no, they're pretty
very
tall.
long.
That's
I'm
actually
taller.
more horrifying.
Okay.
Until you realize he's like, his body is this big and his legs are...
Yeah,
4
it's kind of
feet
like
tall.
daddy long leg, where the body can be like right on the ground, but the legs go like that.
Okay, you shove him back, and he just
Pay.
And he throws his hands up, showers of gold, shower of the 10,
I'm gonna grab my gold coin.
12 gold, just showers over there, one pamphlet.
One pamphlet.
No!
From out of a pocket in the loincloth comes this big hooked sickle. And he's going to try to hit you.
I'm gonna hold person.
On who? Because you did hold that before this happened. So, who are you holding on?
On the Kuo Toa, on the poop shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
hold it on Kevin. We can maybe talk the poop shit
Wisdom
out of
saving
it.
throw.
Wisdom saving throw? DC? Never mind, that was a 5 on the die.
Like 17.
That's a fail. He's held.
Alright.
So he's standing there just like,
He can understand us.
Good.
Alright. Before the spell ends and I lose my concentration, everybody take out some gold, maybe 3 or 4 pieces a person, and we'll put it in a pile in front of them, and we'll back away, and I'll let them go and say, pay, okay?
I'll pay double for
Ting, ting,
Kevin.
And we'll put the money out for Crunchy.
I know I have
Okay.
that much, but just to remember, I'm just gonna put -3 gold, so I
That's
remember
fine.
to add that to my
Sure.
other chat.
So all in all, -3, so you get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. What the heck, I'll throw in 5, make it 20, and I'll have 20 gold in the pile. And I'm going to leave it right in front of his feet. I'm going to like point to it multiple times.
Hey.
And I'm going to back away.
And we all say,
you see his eyes move back and forth between you and the gold a couple of times.
And I'm going, as I back away, I'm going to say, don't hit him.
Armed.
Don't hit him.
Ready. Let's fuck it.
Everybody be ready to fight in case he goes violent.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
going to release him.
Can I ready an attack?
Yeah, I mean, I can
Just in
ready.
case?
I can
I've
ready
said you can, like,
sleep.
ready attacks. So.
Ugh.
I release him.
And he stands there and stares at the pile of gold for about four
Oh my
How
gosh.
many hours?
4 straight minutes.
Dude, turn the spell off. Let him go.
Did I do it
Let
too
him
hard?
go.
After he stares at it for a
Did I
while,
break it?
he then picks it up and begins to count it one at a time, very slowly. And he counts it, and he puts it on, like, just counts it back onto a little rock, and it slips off a couple of
While
times.
he
So then he
does
has
this,
to
can I go
stop.
inspect the garden for Eyebright?
Sure.
310.
Only
Yeah, that
investigation.
540.
Oh, investigation?
I'm
Not
sorry,
like-
no, nature.
534.
That's still not better, but whatever.
Yeah, nature. Okay.
Can I bring the ranger with me who probably knows what he's looking for? I have medicine, but I don't really.
You'll have to ask the ranger.
Okay, ranger dude, come
Hey,
help me look for
ranger.
Eyebright. Or Varric.
So let me. I just want to describe exactly what is happening
You're
here.
gonna roll. 'cause you
He's
probably have.
counting the
I
gold
have
out one at a
literally
time,
negative
putting them
one
on a
for
rock.
nature.
What are we?
Every
nature?
once in a while,
Yeah.
a pile of it will slip off to the ground. He then stops what he's doing, puts down the bag, picks up the pile one at a time, and puts it back on the rock. When he's satisfied that it's not going to fall, he then returns to counting. That happens 4 times.
How long did it take this dude to build a house? Years.
Severe ADHD.
So about
OCD.
10
Yeah,
minutes, about 15 minutes later, he finally puts the last coin on the pile, and it doesn't fall. After it's fallen multiple times, yes. He then takes all the gold and puts it back into the bag, ties the bag, and puts it on his belt. And then looks at who is that? You, probably, because you're the one handing the gold. He goes, "Okay, we can go."
To
Okay.
Gribble's door.
Me and
Okay,
Tycho.
we're gonna look that up. Eyebright.
Okay.
He's rolling. I assume at advantage.
They've got like several.
Yeah, you got plenty of time. So
10 minutes
you
to
search
do
the place. I'm not even gonna let you roll. You just
Okay.
you take your time. You see what is happening, and you're just like, yeah, we don't have to rush. So you take your time. You look through the stuff. Eyebright is not there.
Okay. Any idea, like anything useful there, or is it just like more seaweed?
Yes. You do find some plants that actually you find some underwater plants that have this very elaborate glass tube system filled with water, and they're growing out of the ground underwater. in the tube.
Hydroponics,
So-
baby.
You like
So, like,
hydroponic system.
I was thinking like
a very primitive looking
like
hydroponic system.
the tomato things, except it's
Yes,
glass
kind of
tube.
like that, but also it's just a glass tube stuck in the ground, filled with water, and there's like seaweed and other plants and
Okay,
stuff.
How
growing
did this guy, gesturing at Thoopshib?
Thoopshib.
Thoopshib? How did this guy do this?
So
Gesturing at the garden, the cabin.
Will we
I'm
know
gonna
how
guess.
long on average Kuo Toa live if we've seen them before?
I'm gonna guess our little buddy wasn't always such an idiot.
You
Either that or he's
probably
not alone.
would have
Yeah.
talked to some
I
of
said,
them.
would our ranger, who
Either
does a lot
way,
of
I'm worried.
exploring, have encountered Kuo Toa in the past and know how long they live on average?
Yeah, I would say so. I'm not entirely sure.
Our
how
fighter
long
knows they
it
last
is.
as long as they live until he kills them.
You would know that they live for quite a long time.
Like, longer than humans?
Are we talking 100 years? Are we
Yeah.
talking
Um,
500?
Like,
their lifespan is
yeah.
slightly longer than humans.
Okay. So, kind of like, almost like, not as long as a half elf?
No, it would
Okay.
be probably just over 100 years.
Okay.
Is like the average life expectancy.
So if he's been alone for quite a while, he's got some time to figure this out.
Maybe he's smarter than he seems.
Maybe his friends helped him, and then he got exiled, and then just took the knowledge with him. I don't know.
Okay.
I think he just lost his mind out here in this cave by himself.
Probably.
Eventually, as he said, he finishes what he was doing. He picks up the bag of gold. As he says, "Okay, we go." He turns back around and goes into his hut and closes the door. You hear a series of loud bangings and clatterings and such.
Like a cartoon.
I was gonna say, what's a cartoon noise?
A bunch of yes, very cartoony noises. Just
Like,
and then a couple of screeches, a couple of screams, a couple of bloop bloop
Good
bloop
idea.
bloops, as if he's speaking in Kuo Toa. After a while, the door opens up. He's wearing a suit of studded leather.
Wait, did we hear
Armor?
screams?
Him screeching.
Okay.
As if he like it sounded almost like he stubbed his toe or something. From the sound, from the thought.
Not
of
bloody
it.
murder.
Yeah, I'm thinking like
Just
someone
like,
else might be in this
no.
household that he's taking advantage of.
So he opens the door. He has a suit of studded leather armor on.
Like,
He's carrying a
impressive
large-
suit of studded leather, or just, like, kind of shabby? Like,
It's,
what's the quality on this?
it's pretty dirty and pretty grungy.
Okay. Okay.
It's functional.
It's not
Yeah,
like that.
that's basically what we're
Never
hearing.
fails. sound guy over there.
Pretty much
On our
seriously.
sound system, we have Zavros activating all of the cartoon noises for
You
everybody.
can check the link at the bottom of the page for mine. Slam that like button.
Ed Netty noises.
That's
Oh,
what I
yeah,
was just
exactly.
doing.
So he says,
Oh, he's
and
good.
he's also carrying a large pole with
Me too.
with a big.
Oh my god.
The link's at the bottom.
Stop it!
My
All
lips
right.
at the bottom.
There's a large pole with a large hook on the end of it. Much like
You
the
have a
weapon
large
that he
hook
was carrying. He's also carrying that weapon,
Actually-
some sort of sickle. But this one is also like a long pole with that sickle blade on the end of it.
So, not a scythe necessarily, just like
No.
a sickle with a really long hair.
Like
yeah,
a-
it looks
like a
more
hook,
like a hook pipe, like a
Like those
fishing
fishing
pipe.
things, yeah.
You know, it's got like it's
Like a
instead of like a
shepherd's hook?
spear. Yeah, but it's a metal blade on the end of it.
They use
instead
it
of
like
just
I think they
curve.
catch fish like a tuna. They'll roll like pull it to the
Yeah.
boat
Yeah.
and
Once
stick it
it's
with
going
that
through
thing.
it,
And,
they
like,
just hook it.
Yeah.
Or
Pull it up.
they'll
What do they
also
call
use
that
it
thing,
to
Kevin?
grab the edge of a pier.
What do they call
Yes,
thing?
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Okay.
And it's got like a spearhead on the end of it, and it's got a hook and everything too. He's got one of those, and he's also carrying a large pumpkin. And he says,
Pumpkin scissors?
What?
The anime they were watching.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
That's the first thing in my mind.
"No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a large pumpkin."
boat hook.
And he says, "Bogbo, come with us."
Bogbo?
Bogbo.
Great.
Nice
He
to
says-
meet
He
you.
It's a
holds up
Wilson.
the pumpkin at you, and he says, "Bogbo."
It's a
You gotta
Wilson.
make them hard then.
And he tucks
That's
Bogbo.
exactly
That would
that's
be
exactly what it is.
He tucks Bogbo under his arm
He's crazy.
and starts fish flopping down the hill.
Does Bogbo look
Um,
old? Rotted?
It looks.
Bogbo?
It actually
A
looks
pumpkin.
new and fresh and bright, nice bright orange and very nice quality pumpkin.
Is that
Nice
a
and
whole
clean.
The
other-
only
Nice and
good-looking thing.
It's the
Bucket.
most quality looking thing that you have ever seen from this guy so
Is he
far.
banging
Straight
his
up from like a
pumpkin?
pumpkin contest.
Pumpkin carving contest.
Goodness gracious.
It's better than the
Okay,
hydroponic system.
Is we all ready to go on our journey to a dwarf house?
I'll play along. I'll play along with him too. Be like,
And-
nice to meet you,
He
Bobok.
closes the door, and then from a pocket he
dies,
pulls
it's
out
gonna
an
be sad.
enormous ring of keys. Of like
What?
there are 12 keys on this key ring.
Why? He
And
has
he
one
flips
cabin.
through all of them. Finally, he finds
Sex
one
dungeons.
that you realize is not a key. It is a stick that has a hole carved into it so that it can be put on the key ring. He jams that into the lock of his door, which for some reason has an actually good lock on it. Turns it a couple of times, different ways. Then he flips to another key and actually locks the door. And then turns around and says, "Okay, we go now. Bogbo, come with us." And he walks
I
down
like
the
this
door.
guy.
I don't like him.
I like
don't
him.
like
He's
him.
fun.
Alright,
Never
and then he
would
walks
do
down
that.
the hill.
This
Yeah.
is not.
Towards
This is not
the-
good.
Talk to him at dwarf party.
Do we get a figurine for him?
You do. Let me
Yeah.
dig
Are
it
you
out.
just gonna pull out the old Kuo Toa?
Yeah.
Hey, That's not fun.
There you go.
Can we like tow our ship?
Bogbo. Oh, I'm sorry. Where's Bogbo? I don't have a figure for a pumpkin, so he's gonna be carrying it. So
Man, you're messing up. Where's the pumpkin?
okay.
We're gonna have to get that for next time.
Do you,
Pumpkin
do,
mini,
do, you,
dude.
do you have an orange dice?
Yeah,
An orange
orange
20-sided dice?
Oh no, I don't have one with me. I have
Ben
like
definitely has
36 of them.
I do.
Why?
Because it's one of those like that
Why?
of the really small
Oh, yeah,
six-sided.
Kevin has those.
So I have like 36 orange die.
Yeah. I thought you meant 20 orange-sided die. I was like, why do
20
you,
pumpkin
I swear to
size.
God.
why do you have that many?
A 20-sided pumpkin die.
Bogbo.
A pumpkin-sided die.
Ah,
Yes.
beautiful.
Alright, as he's leading,
Bongo dies.
leading us down,
Mhm.
I'm gonna kind of like gather the
Bogbo
group
is
up
his
real quick.
This is Wilson.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say, whatever happens,
Say that already.
make sure this pumpkin doesn't get hurt. It might be a bad thing if he loses his mind completely. So
Oh,
don't let
are we
it fall
towing our
overboard.
ship or
Don't
no?
let it get smashed.
If you'd
Don't
like
smash
to,
the
yes.
pumpkin.
Okay.
Why
Why don't you
I'm
try
the
to use
defender
your
I think
of
that'd
our
be a good
unit.
idea because I don't know if we're gonna have
Root
what's his
curse
face
or
the whole
something on
time.
this guy.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
a curse. A
I
curse is
recommend
something
towing our
demonic.
ship
I think so too.
because I don't know that we're gonna have this Kuo Toa the whole time.
Okay,
So-
so we tow our
alright.
ship behind us and we
I'm gonna
prevent
hop
anything bad from
in.
happening.
I'm
to
hopping
the
in
pumpkin.
our ship.
Okay.
Our boat. I'll be in
Um,
it. Anybody else? Somebody else?
How
wanna
big is
hop
this
in with
boat?
me?
Ours was
Alright, Crunch,
2x4.
Me and Crunch are gonna be in our boat
His
on the
is
back.
20 by 60.
Party boat.
20 feet wide by 60 feet long.
So
It is a
that
bar. It is a
is
huge
four-
barge.
At the barge.
Unlimited grog on the party boat.
Yeah.
He
It's
says,
a 4x10.
and he turns to you and he turns back to you as you all get on the boat. He says, "We have stops to make. Pick up more passengers,
Okay.
or pick up more customers." He'll say.
Okay.
And
There's a
then
chance we'll stop at the place we really want to go as he picks someone else up. So let's just go with it.
So at that point, he rows to the other side of this thing over here.
He's rowing this barge.
He rows. Well, he rows the. He has a big
The
Oh,
guy's
like
the
a
guy's
Oh,
pole.
like a Venice.
Yeah,
like
one of those
stick.
Venice-
It's
Exactly.
a pole, not a.
yeah, it's a big pole. Yeah. And it's really long from where you can see. You just push it down. He rows the boat over to the other side of the river, and then he waddles with his feet are webbed, so he like sort of waddles as he walks, and he sort of waddles to the edge of the boat,
Gondola.
looks down the passageway, and he yells, "Customers!" And nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Venice.
Then he goes, "Oh!" and he opens the door to the boat, and out of there, down the area come a number of other forms.
Wait, he opens the door to the boat from the
He
other
opens
side.
he opens the door to the boat, and from the other passage, there are people coming down it, or something coming down it. From out of the darkness,
Singing while on a gondola, but he's not.
from out of the darkness and onto the boat come 3 goblins.
Goblins.
This is our music while he's rowing.
Everybody that just had musical instrument on their list of like things is just
Yeah, I
jamming
got the
along
hurdy-gurdy
on the boat.
going on.
Hurdy-gurdy, yes. We went from like sea shanties to hurdy-gurdy so fast.
Well, this guy's very Venice.
Yes. 3 goblins come out of the. Go ahead and actually draw the boat.
Video's here.
I'm actually gonna
This is the dude's face.
stand by.
His was
I love when the old people get in. It's
I'm actually gonna.
can you
draw
see me
the,
now? And it's like nothing but like from the side of the face. I can't see you.
You see the video of the 2 old people trying to get that webcam to work? It's fucking adorable and funny. And like the old guy's like, "Oh, why'd you pull down your shirt?" And like, she's like,
The boat's
"Stop!"
big
They're
enough, I
like
feel like we're gonna get a
80
tadpole
years
on it.
old. And they don't know they're being recorded. It's
Especially
pretty
if he wants to
fucking
draw
cute.
it out.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be some kind of fight, some kind of rumble.
Okay, go ahead and take all of your characters off and
Yeah, I
just
moved them for you.
erase that there, and then just draw out our your ship and his ship in front of it being towed.
I had a math teacher, 9th grade. They used to like to sing, and she would set songs to like. They actually had to do with math and all that. Like the one was that's the Moray song.
You said his was how far?
If each X has one line, something.
Is that what you think of every time you
No,
bring
no,
it
no.
up?
That's the function.
Yeah, 20 by 60. Yeah.
That's
You
all.
know there's an app that's
20 feet wide
all
by 60 feet long.
Music and ambiance.
No, they don't have this many. This is easy.
That thing runs apps, right?
Better line.
Yeah.
60.
Does this bathroom stink?
I don't think so.
So here's the.
I mean, so it's got a very strong smell, but it's like from a
We
air
have a
freshener.
roof, and then
Oh,
ours
yeah,
is
like
2 by
It's
5.
like that
Car-
concentrated air
Two by
freshener that
Yeah.
they'll spray over Charlie's poop.
Alright, that's
It's
the roof.
very powerful,
Here's the front of the boat.
and it's in a very small room. So I would rather it just be a bad toy.
You said
These don't come. This app is based off Spotify, Cole.
you said you wanted to chill on our boat, right?
Yes, cruncher on our boat. Just keep it in, in case it somehow gets disconnected. We got to make sure we just
Right.
keep it off the
Yeah.
rocks.
You have one of
so you missed
the shrunken
this.
heads, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the hag totem. Yes.
Yeah.
So you missed this before. He rode when you all got on the boat. He rode to the. He said we have to make a couple more stops, pick up more people, and he
back here.
rode to the other side of the shore over here, and then he went to the side of the ship and yelled down that passage, "Customers!" To which
These
point
are
nothing
3
happened for
goblins.
quite a while, and then eventually
no,
3
those
goblins came out of the darkness, boarded the ship, and sat down on a bench.
And this is the other guy.
And
Have they done
also-
anything since?
They handed him a bunch of gold,
And they got on the boat.
and they just sat on the boat.
Different. Okay.
So this is
now
our
we're
All right.
at-
Who drew the front of that boat?
Me
boat?
did.
Me did.
Yeah, here you go.
Put a large focal
So
point
here
on
we
the
are.
boat.
What we're looking at here.
What?
Hungry. I want some Chick-fil-A.
Dude, I said that Chick-fil-A like half an hour
Real
ago.
quick,
Longer than that.
Has it been?
Yeah, we were outside.
I know.
would you mind texting my buddy Cole your address? He's
You
gonna
know
pick me
they're
up
cold.
Yeah.
It's weird.
with a K.
Should I just say what this is the address to?
Yeah, and just to the place I'm at because he said he'll pick me up.
Are we taking a break?
I think we're kind of.
Pause time.
Let's take a short break.
All right.
And we're back. Okay, so we have our ship set up.
Find another one.
Viraga and Crunch, you are on your boat that you built.
Yes.
Everyone else and the 3 goblins that have joined you are on Thufshib's boat. He's there in the back
With this pumpkin.
with his pumpkin.
I am defending the
Can
pumpkin.
we? I was gonna say, can we put the pumpkin
There,
somewhere
you're defending
safer?
the
It's
pumpkin.
I'm right
It's
next
gotta be
to it.
near him.
Yeah, it's gotta be near him.
Yeah,
As long as we keep an eye on
roast
it.
the pumpkin.
Yes, the pumpkin.
I can,
Actually,
but I don't think I
You
will.
actually interesting. There's a cushioned armchair on the back of the boat that the pumpkin is sitting in.
Hell yeah.
From the obvious carvings from the Zerkwood of it, this is definitely a drow-made chair because there's spiders and spider webs like carved into the chair. It looks old and sort of beat up. There's like parts of the stuffing is coming out in one piece, but for the most part, it is very well cushioned and is very well intact.
Does Poop Shit have himself have a chair or just the pumpkin?
No, he's standing next to the chair, and the pumpkin has its own chair. That looks like it was of Drowmic.
Is there a tiny building on the back like there was in the picture? Like a cabin?
I mean, there's some sort of structure, yeah.
Okay.
It's not as fancy as that, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that is what is happening.
And we're cruising down the river towards...
Do these goblins seem hostile, or do they just seem to be like travelers?
They seem like just travelers. They don't. I mean, they're wearing armor and weapons and stuff, but they're not, trying to attack you or anything. They're like.
I know goblin.
It's like when you're sitting on the bus in like the city, and it's just nobody's talking. You're just sort of like sitting there.
Like it should be.
And yeah, exactly. And they're just looking around, waiting for their stop. And there's 3 of them, and they're armored. One of them seems to be, wearing better armor and is an obvious leader. And the other 2 just seem to be, normal little shoulders.
Anyone else know goblin?
Yeah, the one with the one in the middle there seems to be more of the leader.
Kevin, do you know goblin?
I know Draconic, Elvish, and Common.
I know goblin.
What's Poop Shit?
Poop Shit.
He is a Kuo Toa. Alright. So,
Fishman.
Is there anything you'd like to? You've got plenty of time while you're sailing. So if there's anything you want to talk to the goblins, to him, to the pumpkin.
I would like to go up to the goblins and see if they speak common.
What would you like to say to them?
How are you, fellow travelers?
They sort of look at you, but they don't answer.
What's
No
up,
English.
fellow kids?
No English?
What?
No, or I just say common.
Yeah, what do you want?
Hello. I figure we may.
What do you want?
I figure we've chatted just on this long trip, but if you want your peace, I'll leave you. I'll leave you be. No harm meant.
We're fine.
Ask them where they're going. Something,
I'm gonna,
No,
as he's talking to them, I'm gonna walk
They
up
said,
to
"How you
him
doing?"
and say, hey, what do you guys think of Poop Shit over there? What's your opinion on Poop Shit? Does he seem crazy?
Well, you get used to him eventually.
How many times have you sailed with him?
Yeah, here or there. A few times. What's it to you?
I'm just curious. He strikes me as not the most stable fellow.
Well, no, he's not.
Get you where you want to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Where you guys headed?
But he's a service that's offered, and we're using it. Safer than going that way, and they point back the way that it came.
Huh?
What color is that?
What's that way?
You don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
From Pixel.
He just sort of pulls his coat side inside, and there's a nice,
What?
large, very fancy-looking dagger there. He sort of puts his hand on it. He's like, "You ask a lot of questions.
I'm a very curious person.
Why don't you not be?"
Okay. Keep your secrets.
And he just sort of looks off in the other direction, gives you the cold shoulder. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
I pickpocket him.
That's the other character.
You get 2 gold.
You know Draconic.
Okay.
Anything
else? If there's nothing
I
else
do.
anybody doing, then we can move on.
I'm
but-
gonna
Try
add-
talking to him and
Sure.
try
Good
talking to
shit.
him and goblin.
I'm gonna
Control or whatever they are.
say, how many stops do we need to make? How many stops?
He holds up his hand and his webbed hand, and he goes, "This many." And but he doesn't put down any fingers. He has 3 fingers and a thumb-ish thing, but they're all webbed. He just holds his hand up, and he's like, "This many."
We're never gonna get a straight answer out of him.
Okay.
Is there anything you want us to do?
and then he just sort of looks at you,
Do us?
and in the moment of and suddenly
Cole proceeds to bend over
something
and
like
drop
it's almost as if something just
Do me.
he gets this light in his eyes, and all of a sudden he just speaks in the most fluent common ever. He says, "Please keep your hands and legs inside the vehicle at all times. For your safety and the safety of others, do not. Please report unintended bags." And he goes just the whole
Airline
pre-flight
safety
speech.
protocol.
Oh my
basically,
gosh.
just,
Exits
your exits are here,
everywhere.
and here, and here.
Your seat
and
doubles as a flotation
Your
device.
seat. He does actually. You check under your seat. There is actually a large, floatable,
Mossy piece of wood.
mossy piece of wood that has some handles that you can float
An
onto.
empty bee's nest with ropes attached to it.
So he says, this
Floating
vehicle will
device.
stop multiple times upon our journey. So please, just if you need to stop before then, make your driver aware, and by notifying them. And he just sort of waves his hand. He says, "Otherwise, enjoy your trip." And then and almost as if he snaps back out of it, he's like, "Okay, we go now," and he starts rowing again.
And we're off.
Okay. If there's he does say the journey is going to be a long one. He says a long way. So just get comfortable. If there's nothing else anybody would like to do, then we will progress time.
I'm going to, I guess, notify you that at the end of each day, I'll create enough food and water for all of us, so we don't have to go through our ration.
Okay.
So.
So the first day ends.
And my attack roll goes down.
Yes.
I guess at the end of each day, I'm also going to lesser restoration.
Would this be considered a long rest?
We
Or
already
just
have one,
kinda
but
sitting around on the boat?
we have one when
We
we
had a short rest.
No, we had a long rest on the way to Duke Ship.
Yeah. It was a short
3
rest just
days.
before we got on the boat,
Yeah.
and
So you
then
should be well.
a long rest
3
because it was
days
3
in the
days
water
to get
day
the food
journey.
ship.
Alright.
So you
And
said
this
you were
is
using the restoration to
Just reset you.
reset me back to
every
one.
day.
Alright.
So at every night before we go to sleep, where we're sleeping here, I'll lesser restoration.
My eyes are dying, guys.
Every night before the long rest.
The big sleep.
So the first day ends halfway through the second day. If there's anything anybody would like to do during the day, just let me know. But otherwise, I'll just tell you what happens.
Don't believe.
No.
Not really anything to do.
I'm gonna play Dragon Chess.
So I have a question for you. So in these travel days we spent at sea or in the water, I still have that piece of a blue dragon hide that is essentially lightning resistant.
Okay.
Can I somehow mend that into my shield and imbue my shield with the dragon hide attached to it, so it becomes a shield of lightning resistance?
Yes.
Kind of cover it with like a
Like, I'll-
leather padding.
I'll make Arcana checks and all that, but
Sure. Make the check, and I'll tell you how many days it'll take.
okay. Essentially, I know.
Yeah, I guess Arcana is fine for that. So.
Yeah, alright. The main thing I know to do is mending, but Arcana is a 17.
You think you can probably get it in 3 days?
Okay. So I guess I'll start that on day 1 of the trip on the barge.
Okay. So this will be day 2 now of working on it. Halfway through the day, they make another stop, and a humanoid. He looks humanoid, but he's not. Can't really tell what he is, but he's got this very high hook. He's obviously a wizard, though.
Wait, we're stopped.
Is a what?
We're stopped.
Yes, you stopped at the southern crossing. The tunnel seems to cross it. He looks almost human, maybe. He's got a hood, and he's carrying a staff. He's wearing wizard robes. He gets on.
Where are we?
Where are you?
While we stopped, is there any? Is it just a dude on the shore? Is there a town we can go check out?
No, there's just a dude on a shore. He's standing at the edge of a tunnel on one side of the river.
Can we go down the tunnel?
We're just picking a dude up.
Yeah, we're just picking up.
Can
We
I?
probably don't want to leave the boat, Andy.
Can I get up? Can I get out of our boat, hop on shore, and get into the big boat?
Okay.
All right. Put me up in the big boat, please.
Yeah.
Put me near the goblins.
They're stopped for you're stopped for maybe
If
5
you're up
10
here, I'll
minutes.
go. Someone needs to go watch Crunch.
I just want to talk to the goblins because I speak goblin.
You're stopped
I'll
for maybe
watch
5-10 minutes,
temporarily.
so
I'm
you
gonna try
have
to talk
time
to this other
to
wizard
Somebody's
or
gonna watch
sorcerer.
me.
you have time to like
Gotta
just like get off and get back on and get
Sit
situated
in the
around.
back of the boat.
Maybe they
Wait.
talk to someone who speaks goblin.
I'm gonna turn to these
Maybe
goblins.
the goblins will speak to
Okay.
someone who speaks
I'm gonna say to them in goblin, "Where are you headed?"
Give me a persuasion check. What's it to you?
Nothing. Just making conversation, one traveler to another.
We're headed where we're headed, and that's all you need to know.
Fair enough. Any you boys got any? Wouldn't happen to have any spare fishing equipment you care to part with for some gold, would you?
Only a persuasion check.
I'm gonna use my last advantage roll from the table.
To get the fishing equipment. 3.
6.
Looks you look kind of sternly in the eye. Says, "Do I look like a fisherman to you?"
Just thought since you were out here living on the water, you might,
He
have
turns,
something to.
he turns to one of his buddies and says, "Servicers, am I right?" And they just all have a chuckle at you. And they say, "Why don't you return to your seat, buddy?" And they just
Say
sort
the
of
word and we'll light
shut
them
you
up.
off.
Get that fireball going.
Piss off.
Racist.
Literally, my scorching ray is 3 bolts. Just 1, 2, 3.
The
Fireball hilarious.
wizard-looking guy, he saunters on board and just flops down in a seat and just sort of like lounges around on one of the benches.
I'll go up
Does
to
he
him.
not pay?
Oh yeah, he pays. Yeah,
How much does he seem to pay?
a big bag of gold.
Must be going far.
I'm gonna go up to him and I'm gonna say, "Clue Clay, fellow sorcerer."
What the hell's Clue Clay mean?
Sorcerers now.
If you know, you know.
Sorcerers know.
He
Oh, Frab just
Sort
did.
of.
What happy?
he
Flam
turns
just
his
did.
head in your direction,
Hello, Calais.
but he doesn't say anything back.
I go.
That's what I said to the
Whoa,
goblin. I told the
loser.
goblin.
You can
Piss
tell
off.
and you can tell from under his hood, you can see a set of red glowing eyes.
I say, "Not a sorcerer." I take it.
In a low, gravelly voice, he says, "I am many things."
All right. I walk to the other side of the boat. I just say, "Okay,
Bunch of fucking druggies.
where are you?
and
Where are you headed?"
I mean, have you met the guy who's driving it?
Yeah.
True.
We're literally encountering people that live in this area.
This is like the drunk bus at
This
Ocean
is the- yeah.
City.
Yeah,
Why
basically.
is it fucking 2 a.m.?
4 in the morning.
Pretty much. This is like you just took like the city bus. You said, "Where are you heading?"
I'm overly friendly. I'm like, "Well, where are you going, bud?"
He just
Hey, bud, how
his
are
eyes
you?
just sort of you can't really see the rest of his face, but his eyes. And he just says, "Long trip home."
Oh, going home? That's awesome. Want to talk?
No.
Okay. Good talk. I go to the other side of the boat and I
Snapchat or did you
keep
say
playing Dragon Chess.
I forgot
Okay.
you have like a big boy phone. Forgetting that.
I want to play
So-
Dragon Quest with you. We're
Okay.
gonna speak in Draconic.
Okay.
We'll make it.
All these other
Eventually,
fucking wizards gonna
eventually, the wizard he gets up and goes over and talks to Thoopship. He also goes over, and then you see him talking there, quietly chatting as he's rowing the boat. And then eventually he sort of like waves politely to him, and walks over to Bogbo, and pats Bogbo lightly on the head,
That's the
on the
pumpkin,
top.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bogbo.
And taps Bogbo lightly, and like almost looks like he's trying to he's like petting it, and then
He
Then
knows
he-
the way to do ship's heart.
and then he returns to his seat.
Like me and food.
All right. Moving on. Anything else doing anything the rest of today?
We are playing Dragon Chess
Dragon
and
Chess.
speaking to each other in Draconic.
Yeah.
Okay. roll me intelligence checks to see who wins.
Hey.
I got
Ooh.
a 16 plus 6, so
Good
Dang.
lord.
Oh, plus intelligence.
Your intelligence doesn't add your
oh,
proficiency.
really?
It does not add your proficiency,
your
just
modifier.
a straight intelligence roll.
Oh, then
So-
I got 16.
Well, it'd be plus your
Plus your regular
intelligence
intelligence
bonus.
Oh, then
Yeah,
19.
plus your modifier, but not your.
So 19.
Okay.
I also got 19.
Oh.
You don't
You
have
are
any intelligence to
you
plus
have,
it?
It's a
you
draw.
have been trapped in a battle of
my
wits. Roll again.
my passive intelligence is 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
you
what's
don't
your
have-
modifier?
0
Your
probably.
intelligence is plus 0, so yeah, it's straight 19.
Okay, so
Still
we're
So you are trapped in a battle of wits. He's
Still
got
this is a good
an
match,
answer.
man.
It
He's got
is.
an answer to every
Move,
move, and
move,
it's
oh
just
my.
it's the most thrilling game of Dragon Chess you've
Everyone
ever
else
played.
is getting invested, dude.
Oh yeah, like even
Yes!
so
And then
even
by
after
me.
a while, like the goblins and
I got a
everybody,
14 plus
goblins
3,
and the
so
wizard gather around, and they're like looking
I
over.
barely beat him.
Because you hear the shouting, and you just barely beat him. So he comes from this out of nowhere victory, and you just oh,
Okay,
I
one more
lost.
game. I'll put 10
And-
gold on it.
and then
10 gold on it?
Yeah.
Alright, we're betting 10 gold on it.
oh, hold on.
The odds
As,
are
do
literally
you
stacked
say
against you.
that
Say what?
you're betting on the next game?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, get the attention of Jim Jar.
That's what I was thinking. Jim Jar's gonna want to get in on
We don't
that.
like scream it, but I say no, like 10 gold.
They're
Well,
speaking in
Yeah,
Draconic.
So they've
in
all-
Dra-
speaking
in
in Draconic, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So
Nobody
you
else
notice
has 10.
the wizard and the goblins have gathered around watching the game.
Okay, yeah, let's say it.
And everybody's everybody's pretty much gathered around. Even the NPCs too. They're like they've gathered around watching the game. They're getting all into it, and they're like, oh, and when he wins, he's like, oh yeah, and you're
Half the
talking.
crowd cheers,
Yeah,
half the
what a
crowd boos.
Half the crowd cheers, half the crowd boos, and then so one of you says like rematch or like we'll bet on the next game. As soon as you say that in Draconic, the wizard turns to the goblins and says they're betting on the next one, and they're like, yeah, I want in, and they start placing bets.
Hell
They
yeah.
start they like
Alright, where's
holding
Jim
up,
Jar?
they're pulling out things of gold. Jim
This is
Jar
gonna
Jim-
have to be my last
okay.
one. My buddy's here, so.
Jim Jar reaches into his bag and pulls out a dragon tooth and slaps it on the table. He says,
Ooh.
I bet you one dragon tooth you can't win this game. And he looks at you. You can't win
I've
this
never
game.
won anything
So,
so bad in this game.
I'll play.
God,
Put me down for 10 on that one.
all right, so somebody keep track of the bets.
how's my
So we
intelligence
can-
not high? But okay.
All right, so
Alright,
So if Caleb wins,
I get.
so
who gets the dragon tooth?
Only I do
that
if I
you
win.
can't
Yeah.
win this bet. So
Yeah.
he gets it if he
I
does
get 10
win.
gold from
Okay,
him.
so
Uh-huh.
if he
Yep.
wins, he gets the dragon tooth. Caleb wins, there's like 10 gold somewhere.
Yeah.
And then,
All the goblins put 15 on you,
All
so
right.
that's 15, 30,
45.
45. So 45
Plus
gold on
10,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Alright.
So 55.
And the wizard pulls off an amulet.
Oh,
Ooh.
Jesus
A
Christ.
skull amulet. The eyes of which are emeralds.
Alright.
And puts that down. He
And
says,
he bets on.
this
which
will
one.
do. And he puts it on you.
Alright.
Ooh, how
Just
nice
say-
is
I
that?
believe.
How,
He says,
hold on,
I
how
believe.
nice is
Split
this
it. You
necklace
can have the
look?
dragon tooth.
He's definitely magical.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtly cast Bless on the
Aren't you
guy.
on the back boat?
Alright.
He's pretty close.
So you're betting money on me, but blessing him.
He's playing
Well,
it up.
once that eye
He
came
was
with that
betting,
necklace
he
came
bet
off,
on you, and then he saw
so
the
you get an
amulet.
initial
Okay.
D40 roll.
So
Alright.
he was like, oh,
I
I'll
want
lose
you to
the
roll
10
a
gold.
sleight of hand check to see if you can cast it without being noticed. Because if you're going to be
God.
cheating now, then we have to roll to see if you're
Oh,
That's
no.
an 11.
an 11. Alright. The mage counterspells. He says, no
Shit.
cheating!
Alright. Ready?
Okay,
Alright,
yeah.
I tried.
It's going to be best 2 out of 3.
Damn it. Okay.
Alright, it's-
Lost.
I
Best
won
2
that
out of 3
one.
rolls. So you won 1.
Ah, son
I
of
won
a
the other one.
bitch.
Yeah! So
Alright.
You-
So I got plus.
you got.
Damn it.
So they got. The goblins had 15
15
gold on
Okay.
So that's 45.
you. Yeah, each.
55.
So
6. I got
Hold on,
65 gold
10.
from that.
Well,
No.
they had. The goblins had a total of 45 gold on
I
you.
don't know how
Everything
betting
else was-
works.
Essentially, it's the house pays or the loser pays.
Okay. So,
And there's no house in this
yeah,
case.
so 45 plus his
So really,
10.
it's him taking the bets on.
Yeah,
So you owe 55 gold.
What?
And a dragon tooth.
I don't have a dragon tooth.
Well, Jim Jar puts the dragon tooth back in
Hold
his
on.
box. He's like,
Here you
well,
go.
there you go. And so he hands. So wait.
The Kuo
So that was if
Kuo
that-
owes
This what the
45
bet was that you could
goblins.
win, and you would get the dragon tooth. So he gives it to, Varric instead. Sorry, I forgot your character.
Alright, so I got the dragon tooth.
So you have a dragon tooth,
Damn. Sweet win.
You lose 55
and
gold.
I did
and
not sign up for
Chucky and
55
Darendale
gold.
look at him as he whips this giant dragon tooth out of a pocket, and he's like, They're like, where did you get that? And he's like, well, I found it when we were fighting that dragon, of course. And they're like,
Found.
we didn't, and they're like, we didn't kill that dragon. He's like, yeah, we did. And he hands it off, and he starts walking away. He walks away real quick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we did. He walks.
I liked him.
Alright, guys. So I do have to bounce stuff.
Good
Okay.
win.
So I'm just gonna take a nap for the rest of this ride.
Certainly.
Good
Okay, who has-
win.
Is everybody else still there?
Linus, I need to get to your cardio backpack.
You have high intelligence?
No. High wisdom.
Bunch of idiots here.
So I'm gonna mention to what's your character's name?
Zavros.
Zavros.
Alright,
I'm gonna mention to Zavros and
Bye,
just ask him.
Caleb.
See you,
Did you see
Caleb.
See
the
ya.
amulet that the wizard bet?
Yeah. I think it was sweet.
Oh, he bet on you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so he takes that back.
Yeah, he takes that
He
back.
takes that back.
Do you know what that was?
Can I make an Arcana check on that?
Yeah. You can if you want to. You can. if
You want
think
Why would I not want to?
You can make an intelligence check. if you think.
4.
Fucking shitty dice, dude. I'm taking these bitches back. Actually, there's a new pair I wanted to buy. Go ahead, continue.
Can I try to make an arcana check?
What are you gonna buy him right now?
Mhm.
How much you do?
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm gonna
Amazon
do.
Prime.
Yeah.
Overnight shipping.
I gotta get it. I
3.
was thinking about getting them earlier.
You have no idea. It was.
It
some-
was pretty.
It was some kind of pretty magic line.
It was black and pretty, glowing
had a-
eyes.
It had a. It was actually really cool. It was
Emerald eyes.
black. It was some sort of black or dark metal.
Kind of like the.
There was a circle carved to look like piles of bones around it, around a skull with emerald eyes.
Kind of like that one. The one necklace in
metal.
Skyrim.
Yeah, I think so.
The
I think
butcher, right?
maybe. I don't
In
remember,
Winterfell? No. Windhelm. The Stormcloaks.
Probably.
Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Can I go up to Thoop Shiv and just look at him and say, hold out some 2 gold and say, fishing rod?
He should. I mean, he's got a boat. He's not gonna stop. Just give him a fucking fishing
takes the
rod.
gold and then looks at it for like a couple seconds and he goes, "Pay."
Mom.
Alright, I'll give him 3 more. He's got 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he kicks a hole.
Thank you.
He kicks the something on the boat.
He
And
kicks
it
a hole
pops a
in the
little hidden compartment in the floor open. And there's just a whole array of fishing equipment.
Hey!
How much did you
So-
pay?
You got lures in there?
One.
You got lures in there?
Yeah, there's lures, there's fishing rods, there's
Alright, I'll
a
take
whole bait and tackle box
How much
basically.
did you
in
pay for
there.
that?
5. Alright,
He
so I'll point
says
at
you
a
can
fishing
Count me down
rod,
for a fishing
Okay.
rod.
and then I'll point at a tackle box.
Strange amulet.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah.
What's it look like?
Sort of like
He
this, emerald
says-
eyes.
he
You
just-
said bones around
You
it?
point at the tackle box. He's like,
I point at a lure.
How much? You just get one. Just grab one.
so he said
He
you can
says
take
gold.
one fishing rod and one lure
Okay.
for 5.
No, I'm gonna
Okay.
point me down for one.
You buying one too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Down
Mark it
60
off.
Gold or it's
That's okay. Yeah,
This
take
is
it with
totally,
you.
This is totally worth it. This is gonna make this
You're
boating
gonna find a box of
expedition.
500
This will make
gold.
this boating expedition so much better.
Find us a 2-foot puddle.
Okay. Okay.
Looks like a lot of other people been having bad luck with their
The-
dice too, bro.
They're all trying to get that
I just
nice
want
pair
this
of dice.
color.
What colors look like? Bubblegum.
That's like
Cotton candy.
it's like vaporwave.
So the wizard turns back to you, Zavros, and he looks at you with his big glowing red eyes, and he says, "Sad to see your friend having to go to sleep so soon. I'd love for another wager, chance to win such a valuable item." And he holds the amulet out again. He says, "Perhaps one of your other friends are interested in a wager. Perhaps that one." And he looks at Zavros. And he looks at Larkoon.
Raccoon's on the back boat.
Yes,
They're
he
close.
looks back at the back boat.
Does this guy have 3-card Monty?
Why does he want us
Wanna
to
do the
play? Why
shuffle.
does he want us so bad?
He says,
Okay.
I know what that's called.
So we're gonna
Big
say
cups in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb flew back here
Yeah,
to you know,
he's
take a
sleeping
nap.
he's taking a nap on the back foot. And Crunch, what are you doing while you're
I'm pulling the front boat closer and I'm getting on the front boat.
Okay, you just pulling the boat closer.
Yeah.
You're
Jump
gonna
on.
follow him, Lucky?
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not pulling the small boat
Like,
closer.
oh, no, you
he's
don't.
pulling the big boat back.
He's pulling the big boat back. Zoopship is rowing. He's like, what the? Oh, jeez. Oh God. What's
Care contractor.
What are you doing? He's like, you pulling the boat, and he turns around. He's like, what are you doing? And he starts trying to like swing the oar around and like hit you with it, but you just easily avoid that and walk right over the boat. Like, it's so awkward the way he's just swinging it, and you're just like, what are you even bothering for, buddy? Okay, so you jump on the boat. He says, so what do you say? You think your friend there would be interested in another game? I'd love to watch another. I'd love to watch another. I'm horribly bored.
Are you going to suggest gambling before I started playing Dragon Chess?
No, actually. This is actually a good way to pass the time, though.
Okay, let's I'll put another 10 gold on it.
What about arm wrestling?
Not this
Anybody
50.
want arm wrestling?
No.
Arm wrestling.
I guess if I'm aware
Running a casino party
of,
over
Arm wrestle the Quagoff.
is if you come
here.
out
You
and
can arm
you
wrestle
say
Darren
like, hey, this guy wants to bet
Just
some
turns him
more,
over the table.
I can help us out a little bit. So,
Larcoon, this guy
We
wants to
need
bet some more. He's got a magic amulet.
does anyone have like proficiency with any like loaded dice or cheating cards and like that?
How would we
This
have
is
proficiency with
Sleight
that?
of hand.
Rogues get something with like a
Sleight
little
of
This is
hand
a
would
chess
be.
game.
yeah, I'm talking for other stuff.
Have a disguise.
Oh.
There's other games.
I'm proficient with disguises.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand would be the skill you would use if you were trying to cheat at something.
I mean,
Who
I
is the
have
most-
decent sleight of
I have
hand,
sleight of hand
or a
plus
decent
2.
dex, but I'm not proficient.
That's sleight of hand 3.
Who is the more sleighty of hands?
yeah, I would say
I have
you
+4 to
Put in
sleight
a
of
weighted
hand.
chess piece.
probably Raven, who's not here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Mine's
ro-
plus 2.
How's
Yeah.
that gonna do?
Help us roll better.
You're not
Well-
rolling anything for chess pieces.
It's a joke. Let it go.
If
That's a terrible joke.
I guess
Weighted chess
Dragon
pieces
chess
doesn't
would be
do
intelligence
anything.
based.
Yes.
What about wisdom?
Alright, I'm going to
What about strength?
cast a rod, cast a line.
No.
Can it be
Okay.
strength
You're gonna
based?
try to fish.
What about? I got an idea for betting. Sorry.
You're fine.
I'm thinking, what about if we do need to bet? We have Crunch versus Darindar or Darindir
Darren
Daredevil.
Hill.
in arm wrestling and see what happens there.
I don't think we'll have
Are you
to do that.
suggesting this?
I don't think people. All the bets are going to go to Crunch.
Yeah.
That's what I'm-
No one's gonna
It's
bet
not even
against
That's the
fair.
point.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I guess we got to establish a house in this case, where it's like some people betting against each other. You can't be say like, "Oh, put me down for 10 on Crunch or 15 on the other guy."
Yeah.
It's got to be like, "I bet you this much," something like that. So I guess
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just doing that.
Alright, well, how about Chucky announces that he'll be the house.
Well, that's the thing is you need somebody to have money to be
He's
that.
got
Yeah.
his pockets are loaded. Remember how much money he stole earlier?
Oh,
No,
that's
that was
right.
the other
No,
guy.
that was Jim
Jim
Jar.
Jar.
Oh.
Yeah, Jim Jar.
Well,
Jim
whoever
Jar.
Jim
stole all
Jar
the money.
would be the house, but he tells you that he would rather bet than be the house.
Well, what if the house takes like 15% of the profits
Well, that's
and
true.
for any bet?
That's true.
The house always makes out.
Yeah.
House
Okay.
usually like 5%
Um.
or less.
Don't tell Jim Jar that.
um,
We're just letting him believe it's 15.
We'll
Darren-
establish Jim Jar as the house
Okay. So
if he's cool with it.
yeah, roll me a persuasion check.
All right.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's a solid 3 with a -1 becomes a 2.
Yeah.
Hey Jim Jar, you want to lose some money here? Got a good opportunity for you.
I'm sorry.
I mean, win some money. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did you have a stroke? Did you seriously just ask me that? I don't want to win. I don't want to lose money. I want to win money.
I meant win. I just said lose. I'm
I
sorry.
got another dragon tooth. I want to bet on somebody.
No.
Come on, set it up. Set it up.
How many dragon teeth do you have?
All of them.
His
Remember?
Whole mouthful.
He's like,
Yeah, we
what's
got a whole
that-
mouthful,
what's
remember?
that thing Deadpool has, a magic satchel or something, where it just fits
Satchel
everything. It fits everything.
It's like a bag holding.
Yeah.
I'll put another 10. I'll put another 10 gold up.
Well, you have
Not
to,
50. Somehow I lost 50.
there's no how, so you have to actually bet against someone.
It's because
So like the
the,
person you're playing against, maybe you bet against that person.
Well,
There's
first
no-
we got to find out what we're betting on. Then we got to find out who you're betting against, because there really is no how, I guess.
It's turning it from
Because I failed. to
D&D to small casino.
That's
I
how
just,
you make
I
your
just want
money.
that. I just
Very
want that
quickly.
amulet.
I got some. I know how we can bet. We can get that. It's
10 gold. 10 gold. I'll give you 10 gold if I lose. If I win, I get the amulet.
So do you talk about setting up like a house and
I'll
like?
just give you 10
figuring
Yeah,
out
we got
how
it.
to-
Yeah,
Right, so
I'll
as
bet.
you're discussing,
We need
this,
a house, and we need someone to arbitrate the betting, and we need to control this so it doesn't get out of hand.
Hoop ship stands up.
All right. So as you do that, the
It's just
other wizard that was there with his
Bum
red glowing eyes, he turns to you
Bumgar.
and he says, "I think I can manage that." And he holds his hand out, and just gold coins just pour out of his hand.
Ew.
He just goes like this, and just gold coins just materialize and pour out of his hand.
That's sick.
And
Oh,
he just
we need this
holds
guy.
an empty
Yeah.
bag. He holds
We
up
need
an
this
empty
guy.
bag and
Cut
just
his
fills
hand
up
off
a
before we
bag
lose him.
and puts it aside, and just fills up another bag, puts it aside, and just does that like 4 or 5 times. He's like, "That'll do," and then he just sits back down. Says, "Let us begin."
Okay, we got a house.
And he gives this horrifying laugh, evil, malevolent laugh, and he's just like, "Let's begin."
All
What
right.
is our first game?
10 gold that I win. If I win,
Before the
I
game
get
starts.
the necklace.
Zing.
Oh, you're gonna. Oh yeah.
All this
Whoa.
gambling, betting.
Almost had it there.
Almost.
That
I was
was
over
quicker
here.
than that.
Orlando Wilson over here.
All right. You got
Nature.
something. Let me
Is it a boot?
Oh,
Ooh, she's a
either-
big one. Is it a shoe?
athletics to reel it in.
Tire.
Oh,
Tire. old soup can. 12.
You're struggling. Roll again.
He's trying.
11.
So rule, you gotta make 3 before you pass 3, or you're gonna fail 3. You know, make 3 before you fail 3. That's
Okay.
what I'm trying to
And
say.
I failed 2.
You failed 2.
Okay.
Pass.
Yes.
if I notice that he's struggling with this, can I
So
come
then,
help?
Well, you gotta
so you gotta
make-
make
Gotta
3
make
before you
3.
fail.
Oh, I gotta make.
So
3.
now you gotta pass the next 2, or you're done for. 'Cause You
Yeah.
already failed 2.
That does it.
20.
20. Pass.
One more pass. Come on.
Oh,
We
this
should bet on
gold.
this.
No.
Gets
10.
away.
Line snaps. He gets away.
Damn.
Takes your
Gets
lure
away.
with you.
Damn it.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Before you guys get started, I'm gonna go back over to Duke Shiv. Lure. Jingle some coins in
Pay.
my pocket. I'll flip
Pay?
a 3.
Okay, and he opens the compartment again.
Point to 1. Take it. Got a lure. Actually,
I'm
I'll flip it 3 more.
okay.
Another.
Okay.
Okay.
The recap tonight is just going to be called gambling and fishing.
Both
Gang
building,
lo-
gambling,
the gang
and fishing.
loses some
The
money.
session of chance.
Dungeons and
I mean,
Dragons
this
Gaming
most of-
Commission Commission Edition.
We finished up the combat with the demon frog.
Yeah.
I like
That's about
that.
it.
Did you just come up with that fishing thing?
What?
Pass 3 before you
Yeah.
lose 3?
That'd be the easiest way to do
I
it.
like that.
All right. Let's see. So you missed. Is anybody else fishing? Anybody
Yeah,
else want
I'll
to fish?
fish.
You're getting ready for your bet.
Okay, okay.
Because we're setting up. He's setting up another chess game. One of the goblins volunteers to play you in a game of chess. The other 2 bet 10 gold on the goblin. The house bets 15 gold on you, though.
I'm going to.
Jim Jar bets another dragon tooth on you.
I'm gonna go up to the
And-
the other wizard dude,
Mm.
and I guess as this game is about to commence, I'm gonna be like, I got a bet for you if you want to take it up. I'll say this one's gonna win, and I'll bet you this really nice dagger. And as I pull it out, it had flames on it, and it's the dagger of eternal flame.
Where did we get music on the boat?
It's just that flavor. It's a gambling
What
night.
do you? Is
It's a dagger that's covered in flames and just lit up and all that.
How are you? Are you?
Where'd you get that from?
How are you doing that?
How are you
Some
doing
sort
that?
of illusion?
No, it's real.
How
The
are
real
you doing
illusion.
that?
So before I joined the party, in my backstory, I had 2 daggers and
Yeah,
no
me too.
continual flame.
Yeah, so did I.
So I just cast continual flame on the
Yeah,
daggers,
yeah.
and it never goes out.
Me too. I also have that.
Literally never goes out.
I also have that.
He puts his hand on it, and his eyes sort of flare up, and his hand sort of glows a little bit, and wiggles, and he mumbles something. He's like, "It is worthless.
Yeah,
Get that
your
thing out of
face.
All right, so we got. Let's see.
It's alright, I have a basilisk guy from my, it's an animal trophy. I was gonna bet it in this game, but I know it ain't worth jack shit. It said you get 1 animal trophy. I was like, a basilisk guy would be cool, but not worth anything.
Put my daggers away.
Okay, so
Sadly.
we got your opponent, and you. We
I
got.
was meant to like
maybe
pull
you
them
can
out
pull-
like a time of like
Maybe you can boil some
really
tea with them later or
intimidation
something,
and
Jeremy.
be like,
They never go out.
two
no, they never
goblins.
just it doesn't.
I will bet 10
No.
gold.
It just has light and the appearance of flames. It doesn't just burn.
You can't bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe if
Okay.
we're getting chased by
Cool.
like in Jurassic Park when
I'm
they get
gonna
chased
bet
by
on my
T-Rex, you just throw out one.
You're gonna win.
It doesn't,
You
it's not
win.
worth anything. Throw one as a distraction.
It was meant to be more like we're getting swarmed by
Okay.
goblins.
So-
like none of intimidation. Just I got this.
So he's standing there. He's like, "Place your bets. Place your bets." We got 2 bets, 15 gold each on your opponent by the other 2 goblins he's with. Who else put? Somebody put gold on you.
The house?
The house put 15 gold on you.
Hell yeah.
Jim Jar put the dragon tooth on you.
Kevin, are you betting?
No. Okay. Anybody else?
Let's go,
I
nerd.
already got $10 for the day.
Yeah, I've spent enough money on
Okay.
tackle.
I want this amulet.
I really want to buy more lures. I just want like 15 lures right now.
Okay.
Stock up.
I think
Yeah.
they're all gonna do the same thing.
I
Roll
don't
me.
need. I just want to have them in case the line breaks
Okay.
again.
Roll me an intelligence check.
It's just straight roll.
Yeah,
6.
you know what?
You fail. Roll again. Best 2 out of 3.
13.
Fail again.
Who's he playing?
What's 8
Damn
times
He's
3,
playing one of the
Jeremy?
goblins.
What's
Wow.
8 times 3?
Wow.
Yep. He's playing
Somebody
the
better
leader.
intelligence
He's
than
playing
me.
the leader of the goblins.
Hey.
So you owe the house 15 gold and a dragon tooth.
Can I buy 8
Jim
more
Jar
lures?
I don't have a dragon tooth.
Then equivalent gold. The mage looks at you.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
The mage looks at you and he says, "The house has valued this dragon tooth at 300 gold.
Holy
gee.
shit!
You owe Jim Jar 300.
I didn't even know I was in for this.
You're out of money.
I don't have it.
You're gonna cut one of your fingers off.
You don't have the gold?
No,
He
I didn't
says,
know that was the cut.
"We will pay this in other ways." And he puts his hand on you, and I need you to
He
make
pulls
a
his pants
wisdom
down, then
save.
pushes your head
I need you
down.
to make a Constitution
It
save.
gets
You
so
can't-
hard.
He's an idiot. I normally do that for free. In his stupid face. What am I rolling?
Constitution.
That's a 1.
Oh my god.
Use this die. Start using that one.
Oh my
Fucking
gosh.
shit-ass
I'll
dice.
trade you for the
I'm
night.
buying new dice.
What'd you roll?
So
You got a
never.
1.
You know what?
That
If I'm
one.
not
That
here, never let Cole roll for me.
You feel a sharp stab in your shoulder, and you take 30 points of damage.
Holy
And when he pulls his hand out, you can see like there's just blood on the end of his fingers, and the blood sort of just like pulls off and materializes into a glass vial of blood, large glass vial of blood.
Then pay with your blood.
He says, "This will be compensation," and he hands it to Jim Jar, and Jim Jar is just like, "I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this." And he just puts it in the bag, just calm. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened." He just stuffs it in the bag, like he's like, "I can't wait to bet again." And he's like, "Let's go again. Let's go
Oh
again."
no, this is too rich for
He's
my
gonna
blood.
find all their blood,
Oh.
clone them, and make his own
Good one,
adventure
Cole.
team.
I didn't even
The
think
house-
about that.
The house pays out the goblins.
Can I see if Thup Shiv has 8 more lures to buy?
Yes, he has plenty of lures.
Yay! I'm gonna buy 8 more.
No, you keep using that dice, and I'm gonna bet
Um,
against you. That's what's gonna happen.
Let's do a mock game.
He says,
Oh my
That's
god.
a 2.
he says, "I believe we have time for one more game this evening." So I believe we have time for one more game this evening. Is anyone interested?
While
If you
they're
lose, it'll cost 300 gold.
while they're gaming, I'm gonna throw another line out.
He says, "What about that fisherman over there?"
I turn and look over my shoulder.
How
The
many
house-
casts does he need to
The
catch
house
a
wagers 500 gold that you cannot catch a fish in the next 10 minutes.
Ah, okay.
You're on.
Okay.
Roll. Get
How
the
much gold?
medallion. Get the medallion.
500.
You want the medallion.
500 gold at stake
Um,
here.
So let me roll to see if you catch a fish. Go.
I'm going to try.
First 5 minutes. First 2 minutes go by. Nothing.
I would like to.
Yes.
Can I try to sleight of hand subtly cast bless again to give him some help?
Sure. Sleight of hand.
18.
Did I lose all my gold and the blood, or just the blood? That was a lot of damage.
Yeah, you get a long rest. You'll be fine.
Nah, no.
Just the blood.
Okay. Done.
Well, actually, no. It would be all of your gold, and then the rest of it would be the blood. Would cover the blood.
Jeez.
What did you say? 19? 18?
I'm bum dry.
Nobody says anything about it.
What's
So-
blessed do?
You get a D4 for any skill checks. Skill checks, saving
An extra
throws.
Is it
D4 on top.
all of them throughout for the duration? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's saving throws, ability checks, and attack rolls.
Should try to post. You should try to give me that too.
I tried.
The first
You
time.
got a bite.
Okay.
Yeah, he was not
Start reeling?
handy enough.
Nat 20.
Oh! That's 2 wins.
There we
That's
go.
2 successes. So you gotta make one more.
17.
17
You
plus
got
a
it.
D4.
You have +6 to your modifier, right?
No,
No, it's just athletics.
No.
Yeah.
So that
Oh.
athletics.
Athletics is 4.
So
Okay.
17.
So it's still 21 without
Yeah.
the D4.
23.
Yeah, you reel that fish in right away.
Hell yeah.
It's a
500
big
gold.
one. It's a big one too.
I don't need to make food today.
And he said, and everybody just erupts in cheers, and the house pays you out. How much did I say? 500.
500 gold.
5,000.
He hands you a
5,000.
bag of 500. He says, "The house has been proven wrong this day," and hands you a bag of gold. He
easy.
says the bag will. He says
That's like
the
all my
house.
fish up.
The house will take their cut though, and you.
Takes 500 gold back.
He takes part of it back.
Um,
A small handful back.
Which would be how much?
You will get
5%.
400 and
75.
5% would be
5.
475.
yeah. So you get 475.
Puts me
95%.
at 975. That's what's up. That's a lot.
That's a lot of gold.
Yeah, it is.
How are you carrying all of that gold?
I don't know, what's the
shut your
limit? What's the
mouth,
burden
Linus.
on gold?
You have
Can you put it in that rope?
I think we
special
talked about
places
this.
to put it.
It doesn't like follow. us.
Every 50 pounds of gold is every 50 gold pieces is 1 pound.
How many pounds can I carry?
Depends on your carrying weight, which I will calculate later.
Okay.
But anyway,
I would just.
You're on a
Yeah,
barge,
why
so it's not a
you
big
should-
deal.
why
Right?
don't you
2
just cap
pounds
us
per
all at
100. It's
1,000
like
gold?
less than 20 pounds of gold.
Is that a lot?
Just barely.
no, I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
That's fine. Just don't worry about it for now.
I'm just marking that I have 975.
Yeah, mark.
Okay.
That's fine.
What's the fish?
You have almost 20
Oh,
pounds
yeah.
of gold on you.
You know what? I'll give the fish to the boat. And we'll eat it.
Okay.
Can we celebrate tonight?
I'm just in the corner crying.
Holding his
You
shoulder.
want the fifth?
Everyone else
It is
there,
a
like,
you
knock
have
it
caught
away.
a 10-pound cave bass.
Holy shit.
Damn.
It's got a stinger.
It's
It's
just
in
like
the cave.
it looks like a striped bass, but it's like pale white, like cave fish are.
No eyes.
Big 10-pound cave bass. Fish.
Sweet. Let's eat, boys. Except for the goblins. You guys better be nice to us. Quit being such assholes. You want some of this fish? Come over here and talk with us.
So by this time, it's getting very late in the day, and that is the conclusion of day 2.
So,
Long rest?
Does that count as a long rest?
Yep, long rest.
You're healed, Cole.
My soul
Your
hurt.
hit points do not return. Whatever that wound was, it did not heal correctly.
Come see me tomorrow.
Son of a bitch.
It
Hey,
did
you know
not
what?
heal naturally.
That chest loss was the
alright,
biggest
I'm gonna
loss I've taken
cast,
yet in this whole adventure.
Cure
300
Wounds
gold.
gonna help him?
You can try.
Don't do it.
Alright, I won't.
Is what
Probably
gonna
gonna need.
happen?
Probably got some kind of poison or something.
Or
Sure.
I mean, if you want to try, if that's what your character would do, then
Yeah, I mean. Oh, yeah, it's Zavros. You want me to give this? You want to give it
You
Cure
can
Wounds a try on
You
you?
can try.
Well, we can try Cure Wounds, or we can try.
Is it a cantrip?
No. Yeah, we can
Well,
try
we'll probably
Cure
have a
Wounds
long rest.
or Lesser Restoration.
We just did have a long rest. It didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
his
I'll
It's
try
not-
Lesser
I don't-
Restoration on you. See
You
if
don't
you
regain
see if
your
you're
health points
poisoned or
at
something.
this
Well,
point at the end
Nah,
of the
I'm
save it.
aware.
Let's see if we can do a fight. Maybe we'll have a long
it was
rest
more
before
of
I-
a if they're worried about like a spell slot.
You
or
don't want me to
Well,
try
the
it?
spell slots don't regen as well until you finish the
Like
long
closed.
rest. So he wouldn't even
Yeah,
know he was
closed
not
is
healed
okay.
until
Oh,
the end of
yeah,
the long
it's
rest.
Yeah.
So he
Sleep-
wouldn't be
sleeping
able
was
to
the
save
same.
Alright,
it.
I'm gonna cast
okay.
Lesser Restoration on Zavros.
lesser restoration.
You lose
You
400
touch a
gold.
creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blind, deaf, and paralyzed or poisoned.
He does that before we take a rest.
Doesn't cure stupid though.
Don't cure stupid.
No, can't do anything for your crunch.
It does not do anything.
Okay. Well, we
Would
tried.
that work? Because it cures blind. Would that work
It
for?
does the same thing. It resets.
Okay, it reset. Okay.
So yeah, lesser restoration was one of the things that it resets his blindness.
Okay.
So that
Actually, this wizard looks like he's been
reset.
he's been around.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask him if he knows where to find
Hit dice reset after
bright.
long rest, Jeremy.
Is that-
Hit dice reset after long
certainly I
rest.
can certainly sell you some.
You have some with you.
I do.
May I?
I forgot I used mine on the short rest.
You're observing this.
wizard.
May I
So you're
observe?
gonna
The
observe
wizard. I
him.
wanna
Oh,
use
you're
my
gonna learn
abilities.
stuff
I want to
about him.
learn about him.
Sure, you can learn about him. You want to try to buy some from him?
Yeah.
This is
How much are you
certainly
asking
something.
for?
I can't believe I caught that fish and got all that
How much do you need?
500 gold. Didn't need my help.
was it
That's
three
all
doses
you.
to cure
Three
him?
doses.
No.
3 doses of balm can cure.
Gold's got
I
worse
need
luck
enough for
today.
3
I had a little
doses.
Fat die.
Certainly, 1,000 gold.
Allow
And he
me,
shows you the bottle. It's just a bunch of this pasty plant stuff.
allow me to confer with my party members, and
I've got nothing but time.
none of us are going
And he
anywhere.
just gives us another one of those horribly creepy, just.
Hey, Varaga, since you have like 900 some gold,
With my observant.
would you like
Yes.
to,
All you have to do
Who
is
has
tell me
these?
superior, inferior, or.
Where's
We're
that
buying this for
or-
Okay.
we're buying it for Caleb to cure his,
Okay. Let me get
thing.
to where.
no?
Actually,
A lot of money.
It's
It is
wow.
way too much money.
Who's trying to sell to you?
okay.
We're
what
not
do you want
gonna-
to know?
Let's wait.
Total class.
Let's wait.
Wizard seems
So
suspicious.
class levels,
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
His is-
Superior, inferior,
Let's wait to
or
see.
equal.
which is equal to his challenge, I think.
That's
you
a
said.
lot of
Essentially,
money.
right? Yeah. Superior.
I'm guessing his current hit points.
Current hit points. Your current hit points are
89.
Caleb's just like
Superior.
Sorry, Varric is supposed to be like the
Okay.
closest thing I've had to a friend
I understand.
because
Save your money, and I will heal him up every night, and he will not get any worth
That's
until
true.
eventually we get to the.
Is there
at
anything
this
else?
Instead
point
of
right
that, we
now,
can buy
there's
it for
no
No,
one
it's only
that's
two.
spoken
You only
of
have
lesser
to do two.
restoration.
So his
If-
class levels and hit points are.
Once we get to a major city
Superior.
or settlement, they will probably have some
Does
there.
anyone
for,
have
like,
an
You get the
alcohol?
feeling that they're much superior.
Herbalist kit?
I do.
You do?
And I'm proficient. I just
Okay.
need the flour.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll make something happen.
Are you going to?
We're not
But we'll
gonna
make sure he
let
doesn't
anybody?
get work.
Varric, is that him?
Okay.
Yeah, Varric.
just asking.
We'll
Alright. So what's
Yeah,
going
Varric.
on?
As you see, I am all.
So I don't remember
Oh,
if I
yeah.
actually
Side.
explained the
Minding my
backstory.
own
So I'm
So you've
half
just been
dark
watching
elf.
him get
because
an
I'm half
idea of
elf
who he is.
and-
Yeah.
My elf side
Okay.
is dark elf.
Like-
I've never
Right.
fit
If
in
I can
anywhere.
do more, I would.
Everyone's
but
always kind of shunned me, even at the monastery
Yeah,
I was at.
Okay. So what is going on?
We'll
with
help
the
your
rest of
friend.
I spent the second day working on my shield.
it?
I
Okay.
got one left.
In addition to starting a casino on the
Yes.
boat. Yeah.
Also a good reason to explain why.
Yeah.
Why.
How
I
does
am
Scoops Ship feel
opening
about
up
us using
more.
his bar just
It's
as
not
a-
even paying any attention to you guys.
Couple
Well, I
nods,
thought.
couple
Yeah,
shakes of the head.
wide
but now
mouth.
he's starting
Just-
to part of
Full
his
sentences.
yeah part
Talking
of
to the pumpkin.
part of
Yeah,
his-
oh yeah, every once in a
part
while
of
he
his
whispers
character is
something
I'm slow to
and
trust members of other races, tribes, and societies. So
blue,
I'm kind of
Toa?
yeah, Kuo Toa
working into
to the
it.
pumpkin, and then every once in a while he'll laugh, as if the pumpkin said something back to him, and then he'll just keep rowing. Like,
Does the pumpkin seem to like degrade at all?
That's what he looks like.
no,
this.
it looks
Well,
pristine.
it's
Looks
only
like
been a
that,
few days,
guys.
It's
so
pristine.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He's got little legs and little arms.
Okay.
He's cute.
And once while you
look
spray, you
at
see it move a little bit.
He's cool. I like it.
Okay, so it is day 3,
What did Crunch learn?
10:03. We're gonna call it.
I think we should call it.
All right, beginning of day 3. We will end there.
What did Crunch learn about the wizard?
You don't know. He didn't tell you.
Can I ask Crunch?
How did Crunch
Am I aware that he was observing?
I don't know if you would be because you were
It's one of the
busy
class
talking to the
features.
wizard.
Did anyone else just see Crunch just
What he can observe?
staring intently
intently at the wizard?
Well, it also
All
depends on
right.
where he is. Like, if he's standing
Crunch.
behind the wizard,
Crunch.
Well, he's
staring
on the way.
intently?
He's on the way
Hey,
across
buddy,
the boat,
what you
so
doing?
I don't know.
I was right.
Don't
From
do it,
here-
Crunch. He's
I
just like
think, yeah.
just stare.
We didn't really
You
move
would
it after
kinda-
the
Doesn't
gambling
you would
thing.
kind of
Just
have
did
his
it.
back to
Tired
you.
on
He would kind of have your back to
Like when a
him.
cat or a dog
As
lock
he
on
was-
or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right.
I
End
I
of
think
day,
at
beginning
best
of
it'd be
day
like
3.
this. So.
Beginning of day 3 is where we will end.
I like that
Uh,
gambling
Alrighty.
flavor.
Yes.
That
See
was
you next
fun.
time.
Nothing.